Well, and the only reason I ever bring it up anymore is because like Nathan Fillion is like obviously like one of the nerds' favorite actors, right? Yeah. And now the fact that he's going to play Guy Gardner in the new DC, like it just gives me an excuse to bring it up all the time with Tiny now because she loves Guy Gardner. She loves,
and I love Nathan Fillion so much, and he's going to do a very good job of being a complete and utter asshole.
Well, I think, and that's the best part too, because we already know he does, so it'll be a lot of fun that way. It will be a lot of fun that way, but I don't know. We'll see what happens we'll see what happens with all of that. As of right now, I'm still cautiously optimistic. About all of it. So,
and we're live, love.
Yes, I know. Yeah, we're all like, where'd Armando go? We lost him again. No, Armando hit the wrong button. No, Armando's gone. He's gone. Well, because normally we do this for a little while to wait for that Rumble notification to go out because that thing always takes forever to go out. It always takes like 3 or 4 minutes for the Rumble notification to go out. So that's the only reason we normally like kind of like chitter chatter because it's either this or I do like the intro, the little BRB screen back for like, 4 minutes like I do in the morning. And that's not near as much fun. And look, there's Armando. Now he's back. There he goes. So yeah, that's why I normally like I'll either do the BRB screen in the morning.
Can anybody hear me by any chance?
Yep, we got you.
We can all hear you. You're good to go now. You're back.
We're live, but nobody can see us. This adds to the mystique of the green room. People don't realize how much cooler it is back here in the green room, and they're in the theater of the mind. They're imagining that we're in this fantastic studio with like a little coffee maker and free donuts. But
I'd never get anything done if we had free donuts. God, those carbs would slow me down. I'd be snoozing all afternoon out here.
I hear you.
That'd just be bad. That would just be bad. All right. Well, let's see what we got here. What intro do we want today? One of these days we'll have a cool one for Winding Down Wednesdays. We have a cool one for Doctor Who, but not Winding Down Wednesdays, not yet. And we keep losing Armando.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't see anybody's image. All I see is the main image.
Yep.
You're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So,
we can see you. We can hear you.
Yep, we can hear you. You're good.
Okay. I thought we were gonna see everybody talk. Okay.
You will hear in just a second. We're just screwing off right now until the notification for everybody goes out. But you know what? We'll do the thunder and we'll do the countdown and we'll get this started.
Okay.
Oh, that was How we doing tonight, guys? It's Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And welcome to Winding Down Wednesdays, boys and girls. That one evening a week or more that we get together to chit-chat about all the nerdy things going on out there in the pop culture and gaming news world sometimes. And my favorite part, one of the things that I love doing part of this show, something that we've been doing this practically since the inception, it's even got out of some of our co-hosts over the years, is bringing on and highlighting people out there inside of the industry right now, whether that be out there making movies, writing comic books, writing stories, or actually out there working in the business that so many of our favorite heroes come from. And that's exactly what we are going to do tonight. We've got Armando Salinas on with us from Trinity Comics, which I met at our local Comic-Con just a couple of weeks ago, which was absolutely awesome. Good dude, was like, hell yeah, let's come on and talk about this. So we're excited to do that this evening. So we're going to get to Armando here in just a second, but we're going to introduce all the rest of our our co-hosts. And then we're going to say hi to all of you beautiful folks out there in the chat because things have been going on. But we're going to talk about all the industry stuff tonight. We're going to see how things are going out there, how the people on the ground are feeling. And unlike all of us that just report on it in the news and look at it like a 50,000 foot view, it'll be kind of nice to hear somebody that's actually down there on the ground wheeling and dealing all this kind of stuff. So we're going to do all of that fun things. And if we have to, we can talk about the fact that Disney had their earnings called today and that was kind of meh, or that we can talk about, I don't know, there's actually some cool things going on out there as well. And then if worse comes to worse, somebody's got a question for Diesel about the new Aliens movie, and I'm sure he'll probably want to spaz out over that. And if not, we've got other people that can spaz over 40 minutes as well. So that'll be fun. And speaking of spazzing out, Diesel, buddy, I know you might not be here for long tonight. How you doing, man? I heard you're a little under the weather, brother.
Hey, I'm here. Dude, I coughed so much last night, right? And I thought I was on the downswing, and then I laid down, and then I would cough, and then I'd get a couple seconds of relief, and then it would cough again. I'd cough again, and this went on and went on and went on and went on.
It's horrible.
I coughed myself like retarded, and then back sane again, and like I've taken all kinds of stuff. So, but I'm gonna be immune to all of this stuff down here, though, dude. I'm telling you, no lie, man. I know how I got sick. It was like sweeping, workout, sweeping when I breathed in all the like a bunch of scorpion and millipede, like carcass dust and everything else that was down there, man.
It's good for you. It's good for you. It builds up your immune system.
Yeah,
you'll be
yeah,
fine.
man. I'll be immune to all this stuff.
Scorpions only lived in the Southwest.
Oh no, we got the little brown ones in the basement.
Really?
Did not know. They're all over the place.
Yeah, we got the big one. We got the very big ones around here.
Oh, those.
Yes.
I don't want to mess with the big ones. These little ones, though, were kind of pitiful. Like I saw one that wasn't dead one time, and I was like, I felt kind of bad for it because it was just it was pitiful, man. You know, they look badass, but the ones down here are like, I don't know, they're like slow or like something. I don't know.
Inbred
Alabama.
I still wouldn't trust it.
No.
Oh no, the ones here, they're like it's about like a wasp sting, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not real poisonous at all. The things you got to watch out for are the brown recluses and black widows, and of course, like almost all the poisonous snakes on the planet around here too. We got rattlesnakes all over the place out here.
Freaking ridiculous. Welcome to the South, ladies and gentlemen. We're like Australia, except way cooler with nicer accents and a lot better food. Speaking of the things that don't know anything about better food, because he's from up north and doesn't even understand what sweet tea actually is, but he knows what good comics are. He might have even wrote one or two. He might have worked on a couple out there, here or there. Jason Sandberg, creator of Jupiter. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Good evening. For those of you, as Jesse mentioned, I am from Minnesota. That means I know what you're in store for the next 3 months. You all are going to get a big dose of the walls. Buckle in. Stay tuned. It's going to be wild. It's crazy. I'll let you know later about his ticks, things to watch out for, and how to handle the walls. Otherwise, I am fast at work on Jupiter issue 2. Jupiter issue 1 is In Demand, a fun comic, and Indiegogo. Tonight, I will be on with a 70s rock star.
Rock fan
tonight 9
best
o'clock.
ass in the fellowship, mind you. Sorry,
very true. And then tomorrow I'll be on Dames and Dorks, so just making the rounds, but great to be here. Excited to hear from our guest and his background and his experiences, and share some stories. Excited to be here. Great to see everybody.
Good to have you.
Nice.
Jason.
And Jesse knows who has the best ass in the fellowship because in Vegas he went around grabbing everybody's.
Well, and speaking of asses that I didn't grab in Vegas, but my foot still damn hurts, the lady of many hair collars and the huge Guy Gardner fan, Tiny but Fierce. How are you, my dear?
I'm all right. Someone else wants to say hello.
Hi,
Hi,
this
Mom.
is Tiny but Fierce's mom, and hello to everybody. Diesel, hi.
Hello,
are you
Miss
behaving?
Deborah. How are you?
Are you behaving?
Me? I have to behave. I'm too old for that stuff now. I'm a couple decades too old for misbehaving.
How you been, Tiny? How's everything going?
Doing all right. Helping some friends with some stuff, and I built a brand new cat tree for the little bitch. And other than that,
Hey,
things
I
are
love
good.
that cat.
There you go. There you go. Well, bitches got to have their trees. That's just how things go. That's just how things go. Bitches got to have their trees.
I have a
Holy cow.
cat.
Well,
Sorry, Armando.
no, the cat
It's
will
all
make
good.
appearances later on the evening. It's generally how it goes. It's generally how it goes. This is what happens when everybody gets to do this stuff from home. You know what I mean? That's one of the joys of the internet and all this kind of stuff. It's like, it's like, why are everybody always late? Because you're like, oh, I've only got to walk to the other room. It's not that big a deal, right? And so you wait till the last second to do it. Then you go, oh crap, I'm late. That's why. That's really honestly what it ends up coming down to. So, but tonight, like I mentioned at the very beginning, Armando Salinas, how you doing tonight, man? How's everything going for you? How was con?
We did great at the con. It was very good. It was my first time back because I didn't make it the previous one. And I was kind of nervous. Deep down, I was really nervous. I had everything kind of stored up for months and just saving it. And I was really praying, hoping that I had good stuff on the, on the show rack. And I did. And I did. Everything went super fantastic. Made enough to buy pizza though.
Hell yeah. Can't beat that. Yeah, there you go.
No, you can't beat it. Can't beat it.
No.
No, I had and then I met you, but the funny thing is, well, I think I told you that day when I saw you that I noticed some guy with the tripod, with the stick, with the phone on it and all that stuff, talking, and I was like, huh, who doesn't see those YouTubers or whoever does a video, anything at a show? So it wasn't surprising to me.
Oh,
Did I think you come to my area? I didn't think nothing of it, but me and you started chatting. I know. Me and you started chatting it up, and I was like, "Hey, you down for a guest appearance? I'm down for anything like that, always." And here I am.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here, man. Cause yeah, it's always, I love going to that kind of stuff and walking around, it's one of them situations where I live stream because like I always tell everybody, it's like, this is a fan funded show. This is my full-time job. And the only reason that is because of everybody out there. So, it's like we were able to go to con and take the kids and have spending money and all that kind of stuff because everybody out there. So I'm going to live stream it because I want to take everybody along for the ride. You know what I mean? Because it's their ride, it's their show.
Yeah.
They're the ones who paid for everything, and so, yeah, that was a blast. Getting to talk to so many people, getting to check out all the wonderful cosplays and getting to dig through long boxes. You know what I mean? I'm just being able to go through there and dig through things. It's like, it's always such a blast. It's always,
such a blast. It is. The one thing I like about those two, you never know who you're going to meet. Obviously I met you.
Right.
It's what I like about it personally is that anybody can be themselves for those 3 days.
Yeah.
If you want to be Superman, be the Flash, be Sailor, whoever. That's who you want to be those 3 days. Then after that, back to reality. But yet who you're comfortable around when you're at those shows. It's small, big, or even just a hangout.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've noticed over the years by doing all this. And I personally been around this for about 28 years. I'm 28 years old, be 30 in 2 more years. How I got into this is that I grew up watching the Batman animated series back in let's see here, that was back in 1997. So I was probably a year old. Then my dad got me into it, so he's been doing it obviously longer than I have. So professionally, I've been collecting for about 20 years.
Hell yeah.
Since 2003, I think. Yeah, about 2003.
Hell yeah.
So I should be doing something right since I've been doing it this long.
Right. Absolutely. Well, good.
Yeah.
I want to get into all of that. I want to get into like your background and how what got you into like, setting you up a little shop and a little booth and all that kind of stuff and how things are going for all of that. Cause I think that's a fascinating story. And considering how many guys we've got that hang out in like the independent comic sphere now, and there's so many indies and stuff popping up. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. But let's say hi to the chat real quick. And then we're going to jump right back into that conversation because that is going to be a lot of fun. All right. Jimbone coming in first. One of our fine channel subscribers over on Rumble says, hail all. Good to see you, Jimbone. Friday Sassfire as well over on YouTube. Madhouse Retro Gaming. Hail all. Time for some shenanigans. You know it, Madhouse. Good to see you, Madhouse, having himself some fun with the Rumble bot, waiting for the show to start. Always a good time. Twitch as well. Thank you, sir. Jason, look at that. There he is. Michael, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. This is Let's Fucking Go, my friends. New to this online world. Love y'all. Glad you're here, Michael. Glad you've been having fun, man. Michael's been a regular face out there in the chat. Tim Hayes, our very first channel member, all the way back from the last channel. Good to see you, Tim. Okay, he'll be back in a little bit. There we go. And as always, a friendly reminder, boys and girls, this is a fan-funded show like we were talking about earlier. So direct donos are one of the best ways to support the channel out there. So Streamlabs and gifted memberships and all the regular memberships and all that fun stuff are always a great way to go, and always love seeing all those green names of memberships in the chat. So we appreciate all of your guys' support. Thank you all very much for that. Animation Overload, another one of our fine channel members, says, hail all. Good to see you, Animation. La Vistro, aka Parathis, winding down on a Wednesday. The common nerd must be high. Shh. Parathis, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, my friend. Jembone on Twitch as well. We're going out on a Tuesday, says Madhouse. Well,
jokes on him. Common nerd is always high.
That's my secret.
It's Tuesday somewhere.
That's right. Yes, remember, liking the stream prevents Levistro from harassing you to like the stream. Like the stream in a restraining order about saying like the stream. That doesn't work well. Prevent me from saying like the stream. Oh, never listen to the latter. So like the stream. There you go. Thank you, Levistro. Good to see you. Nagranol. Good to see you, Nag. Good to see you, buddy. This is hail. All hail. Yes. Yeah. Brown recluses and copperheads, the deadly duo. No doubt about that. No doubt about it.
I think we got every poisonous snake here in Alabama except for like the cobra and the sea snake. I think we got all the others. Maybe. I think it's right. I think it's like all but two, maybe.
There you go. I gave you money to buy me a gun. Oh God, here we go. See, I gave you money to buy me a comic book. Never got it. Like the stream, if Common Nerd needs to buy me a comic book. There you go. That's fair. I probably do need to buy Levistro a comic book. I probably do need to buy Parathis a comic book. Parathis is another one of our Texas boys as well. He's right up the road as well. But speaking of right up the road, Armando, buddy boy, my friend. So you said you've been collecting comics for like 20 years. Your dad got you into the Batman the Animated Series, which, oh, dude, totally feel that. I'm actually old enough to have watched it live when it was coming out for a few of the years out there. But yeah, have all of this on Blu-ray. Love all of that. This was my first introduction to Batman. Yeah, absolutely loving that.
Nice.
So give us some of your background. Give us like your superhero origin story and all this kind of stuff. How did you get into it? How did you get into the business? Where you're at now? And then we'll kind of go from there. So yeah, by all means, the floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, sure. So the shop opened up at the Trade Center, Corpus Christi Trade Center. You know where that's at, right? Oh yeah, you should, because you live in the Bluff, so you're not that far from me. So about 6 years, it's been a good ride. You know, sometimes it's a walk in the park, sometimes it's walking through a hurricane. You know, and it's fun. Again, I like doing it. I like the people who I meet. You know, sometimes, I mean, not all the time, but you know, you never know who that person is until you start, you know, getting to know who that is, you know. So how it started was that, you know, me and my two other brothers, we were, well, actually, let me rephrase that. Me and my other brother, we were kind of in the slumps, give or take. And then all of a sudden, my mom threw out the idea that why don't y'all two just open up a comic book shop? Me and Brandon, you didn't see Brandon there. I think you saw my little brother Joshua there. I think you did. Yeah. So me and him looked at each other. We were like, why not? You know, ever since then, you know, obviously now I'm talking to y'all.
And what year was that when it became a real possibility and you opened it up? What year was that?
2018.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You've been
it was funny. When we opened up, it was May 5th. Okay. What is May 5th?
New Comic Book Day.
New Comic Book Day.
And that same day, it was Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
And at the Trade Center.
Yeah. Yeah. And so whenever Cinco de Mayo hits or Free Comic Book Day, I'll be, you know, I've still been around. So it's like, it doesn't really matter what day it hits. I opened up that same day. You know, it just so happened to be on that particular day. I laughed at it, though. It was funny. I bring it up every now and then to somebody, and it's a good laugh.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
And in your shop, what's the mix between new comics, old comics, and like other other items like gaming supplies? Like what's the breakdown?
I just do mostly toys, comics. The comic books is just a mixture of stuff, old, new, vintage too. I like I s- honestly, as long as I've been doing this, I personally never thought I would see in person holding in my hand Spider-Man 252, Amazing Spider-Man 252, Secret Wars number 8, um, Hulk 181, New Mutants 98, Spider-Man 129. A lot of classic books. And mind you, where I'm at, it's a flea market. Okay,
Okay.
so everybody just walks around there. Everybody. And then pretty much every weekend they say, "Hey, do you buy books? Do you buy this? I have this. Are you interested?" So constantly people are, coming in asking if we do take this stuff. Yes, but it just depends on what it is.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't promise you that I might buy it, but I'll look at it.
Mhm.
You know. So I really don't deal with sports stuff. I don't unless it's something really important. I mean, my sports level knowledge is probably like this, but I think as collectors, or me and personally, that you got to know some sports history. Some. I mean, you ask me a sports question, I may or may not know it. You know.
If
So
someone
I,
asks me a sports
yeah,
question, I just say Ty Cobb. That's usually I go with Ty Cobb, and half the time, that's right.
that's right.
I,
No,
I know
I mean,
I know about the
it
Braves.
really it just really depends, but I would think I know enough, hopefully, but
The
it's just whatever the question is.
the people that approach you to sell to you, is it people who are aging out of it as a collector, or is it like someone passed away and they inherited this box, they don't know what to do with it? What's that look like?
It's all the above. It can be anything, and I hear a lot of stories. I hear it whether it's true or not, but you can tell who's telling the truth. One time there was a couple there. I'm not saying they didn't know what they wanted to do with that little collection they had. It was just a decent stack of books. Okay, they knew what it was worth. I think they knew a little bit, but obviously, it's not gonna. They're not gonna get what they're asking. So they needed money to put towards that family member or friend's, funeral expenses. So you can tell they didn't want to part with it, but they needed it. Okay, so but I always ask, are you sure if this is sentimental? I wouldn't recommend doing it, but if you do, I mean, I'll help you out as best as I could. And there's people that sometimes are aging out, or they just have too much stuff. They just have too much stuff. They don't know what to do with it. They want to wind down, or my kids may not want to have anything to do with it because they're not into it. It's a variety of different things. Variety. People that clean out houses sometimes they come up to us. They say, "Hey, I found these books. I cleaned out storage units." You know, the sky's the limit. You never know what's going to come through that door. Basically,
What's the you mentioned some key titles earlier. What's the one that there was the biggest surprise or the biggest delight for you that you came across, just in terms of
the
reviewing
biggest.
collections?
Um, like you want that one main title, or it's like or you like I scored big and I got like a good run of you
The
know
tell me the one that you flipped for the most money, and then tell me the one where you're like you bought it but you wanted to take it home.
Okay. God, man, that's a hard question. That really is because over the years, obviously, you got to buy cheap, you
Mhm.
know. And mind you, out of the years, things have changed in the comic book business and anything comic book industry. So let's say I bought the first appearance of the new Suicide Squad. My God, what was it back in the '80s, right? With Bronze Tiger. This is before Harley
Yeah.
Quinn got into the picture. That one I remember.
Was
What
it
was it? The
Legend?
sit.
Was it Legends?
Man, no, it was just Suicide. Wait, yes, it was that whole set.
Okay.
There was the whole set, and there was just that that first appearance of that one single issue. That was when the second movie started to come out, something like that.
Mhm.
And really quick, I sold it. Because how I came across that little collection was that somebody just so happened had it in the back of their car, was just walking around the flea market, didn't think anybody would, was there to buy stuff like that. I can't really remember what else was in the collection, but I remember that particular set sold fast. I can't remember how much I sold it for, but that one sold fast. And then a month later, I had got the New Mutants 98 first appearance of Deadpool. That was when Deadpool 2 came out in 2018, right?
Sounds right. Yep.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, okay. So I got 2 copies of that in different collections. One was a newsstand, one was a direct. So that one, I think the newsstand sold faster than the direct. So the direct I had for quite some time. But again, when I sold it, I think I sold it for 400, maybe 500.
Wow.
At that time, that was accurate.
Right.
Yep.
At that time, now, I mean, I haven't recently looked up at that particular price for that book. So I mean, honestly, I've come across a lot of beautiful books, beautiful stuff that I did not. Growing up, it was like, okay, are y'all familiar with Wizard Magazine by any chance?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I grew up with that too. So I still have a bunch of them. I still have a lot of them. Yeah.
Hold on to
So
those. Yep.
yeah, I still have them. So I would always look through those magazines, and I would see like Hulk 340, the classic Todd McFarlane covers, Batman, Spider, anything. And I told myself, man, I would really hope one day I would see these in person. And now as I got older, I started little by little started seeing the stuff that I always wanted to see. And eventually I started working, saving up money to get those particular issues that I wanted so bad. Now it's kind of the opposite to me. That now, since I own now that I own a shop, it's like I see this often now. I see it often. Back then, when I was like elementary going to high school, it's like, man, am I ever going to see this? Now, 10 years down the road, since I've been done with high school, it's like, wow, I've seen this thing so many times. To think it was just a dream or imagination that I wanted to see that up close, and now it's like I see it everywhere. How things change. It's crazy.
On that note, in a given week or given month, do you see more copies of Brigade #1 or Young Blood #1? What comes across your doorstep more often?
Oh my God, a lot of some indie stuff everything comes in randomly. You don't know who has what.
Right.
Sometimes I see a bunch of Valiant stuff. Sometimes I see a bunch of stuff, titles, publishers that are probably from the 90s, didn't last, and they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm sorry, I can't take these. No one's looking for these. They mass produce these books like running water, so there's no value in them. Heck, you can probably tear them up and throw them in a bird cage, let the birds have fun with it, right?
That's crazy how some of that stuff ended up like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's, mind you, 30 years ago, before any of this stuff started happening, the older collectors, sometimes they have the mentality that particular book they bought for $20, $30 is worth something now. That ain't the case. It's not like that. And sometimes it's hard for those older collectors to understand. Now it ain't like how it was back in your day. Now it's my time,
Well, hold on. Wait. Hold on. You're telling me that if I've got a copy of Superman 75 that's still in the bag, I can't sell that to you for like
no. You no. That is no. That ain't that. No, that's not going to happen. No. Surprisingly, funny you mentioned
what if
that.
I've got a case of them? If I got a case of them, what can we?
If you got to,
Well,
honestly, I would buy it because I would buy that if it's still in the black poly bag because that's actually when I first started. That was actually one of my top sellers,
Okay.
the Death of Superman. Now, every time I get that book, it flies off my shelf. I sometimes don't see it being there for no more than 2 weeks,
Okay.
and it sells fast. It really does. You want to know why? Because the people who bought them by the cases or just wanted to be that person to buy a whole stack, that other individual did not have a chance to buy it because it was either behind the counter, and if you wanted it, you got to pay the price. You got to pay the $20-$30 for it instead of paying the dollar or whatever it was, you know. So, and I hear a bunch of stories like that too. Now that you see it in front of you, you're gonna pay that book. When I get it, I sell it between. Now I put it at $30 or $40, and it. But is that other? If that person that has a bunch of those willing to sell them, obviously I can't pay you that. I'm gonna have to. We have to talk to where we're comfortable exchanging.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying it did. That book did get mass produced, but when you start hearing everybody's story about how they wanted to get it and they couldn't, this is your obviously chance now. One time I had gotten 6 of them or 10 of them. I had got lucky on eBay. This was like 4 years ago. Got lucky. I got them in. Some were sealed. I think 5 of them were sealed completely. The other 5, they had the regular second print or the regular cover in there, so it was open. And I'm like, you know what? Somebody's still gonna buy it. So, and I told the customer before you do, I'm just saying, this one it was open, but it doesn't have the book that should be in there. Sometimes it didn't have the inserts, the little special stuff that was in there. Sometimes it had it in, sometimes it didn't. But I told the person, they were like, I'll still buy it. Okay.
Do you think there's anybody out there that that buys those just so they can huff 1993 air?
You know what? That's a funny thing. Talk about huffing and puffing comic books. Any like even me, even myself, I get a book, old book, I open it and I smell it.
Yep.
So it really doesn't matter what year it is. All I know is I hope one day they make that into cologne and I will buy it.
I know. I hear you. I love the smell of the newsprint. Love the smell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's you know what also sucks? That if these people that I buy stuff off or anybody, if they're not properly taken care of, you can smell smoke damage. You can smell moisture,
Mold. Yeah.
mold. Yeah, mold. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've seen that. More times than anything. Excuse me.
Don't ever. Those of you out there, don't ever put your comics in the basement.
Well, we don't have basements. We don't have basements here. Okay. Well, I mean, we have attics, but I get what you mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, always make sure you store them properly. Don't put them in a garage. If you do it, make sure it's acclimated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, the thing is, too, that the humidity here is just so bad. Like right now, it's freaking hot outside. It is, yeah. and we just went through a dang hurricane 2 weeks ago, and it's still hot out here. So the moisture level is just ridiculous. It's just a dehumidifier.
Yeah,
get a dehumidifier.
Like a humidor for your comics to make sure you keep everything at the right moisture levels and everything down here.
Or just keep them beside your house in a nice cool area. Mm-hmm. Trust me, I've seen a lot of damaged stuff like that. It's not pretty. Some were just like key books and they're just damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
you mentioned buying on eBay. Do you also sell on eBay?
I did a long time ago, but after that, I was just like, nah, I can't do this no more. It was just a big old hassle. And then obviously eBay wants their cut, and you got to hope for those eBay sales. That I made something good, profitable. Mm-hmm. Now, am I going to keep it on my PayPal, or am I going to take it, just deposit it in my regular credit card, or just leave it on there. Because if you don't pay attention, even to this day,
Mhm.
if you're not notified, eBay's going to take their whatever percentage out,
Oh.
and then you're going to be like, "Hey, I had this. What happened?" Oh, you're going to get notified. Oh, we took out our cut, basically.
Do they do
Yeah.
that monthly or quarterly? When do they scoop
I-
up the cut?
Honestly, man, I think monthly. I don't remember. Things could have changed, but that's one reason why I don't do it no more.
And then, do you have do you have an email list? Do you collect emails? So, like, do you like send out an email once a month saying, "Hey, these are some cool titles I've got in stock," things like that? Do you do any of that?
The only thing what I do is that when I get new stuff in, we take pictures, we post them on our page,
Okay.
and that's pretty much it. That's we post it, and whoever likes it likes it.
Yeah, I was going through your Facebook page earlier, and I know there was a whole crap ton of stuff on there. Is that one of the best ways to get a hold of you guys and be able to look at all your guys' stuff? Is the Facebook page generally where most people are?
Facebook, Instagram, Google. There's a variety of different stuff. Conventions,
Oh yeah.
running into people. At the mall, for example, out in the street. Sky's the limit.
Good. I was just thinking about. Go ahead, Jason.
So there's a couple shops up here in Minnesota where they'll have a rack of either Bronze Age comics, so a little bit beat up, or they'll have some old Spidey Super Stories, or the you mentioned Batman the animated series, the Batman and Batman Adventures, Superman Adventures, things that are like good entry level books for younger people.
Okay.
Do you do anything like that to try to like build in the next generation, get the next generation interested? Do you do anything at your shop in that regard?
Yeah, I do. I mean, the people sometimes, well, not sometimes, quite often, a parent or it depends the age of the kid. They want to start getting into it. They want to get some good recommendation. I mean, sometimes I really can't recommend the kid stuff only if they're kind of starting to read.
Mhm.
If it's like, elementary going on teenager, okay, well, basically this time of day, you can read anything, and you know what I do have? I have the Muse, about the Holocaust with the cat and mouse, the cats and the mice.
Mouse, yep. Mm-hmm,
Mouse.
mouse, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
I
talking
saw it.
about Mouse.
Yes. I actually I still have two. I have the first print and I have the one where won the Eisner Award.
Okay.
I haven't sold them yet, but at the time when I first got it, this is an example. Okay, this is a good example that when I first got it, that's when it already got banned in a school in Tennessee or something. It got banned in a few schools. I tell myself this, that what's the whole purpose of teaching history if this is what's going to happen?
Yeah.
That's just the most ridiculous thing
Well,
that could happen.
as someone who read Mouse in middle school and whose family was involved,
Mhm.
I wouldn't give it to anyone under the age of like 14, personally. My personal beliefs. I read it when I was younger than that, and I already knew what happened to my family, but to read Mouse is so powerful in many ways.
Yes.
It's so well done. It's so well done, and it's so powerful that it's almost too much. I mean,
It is. No, I agree. Agreed. It is too much. It is too much. But the way I see it personally is that you're getting not a review, but you're getting a different take of what happened in that particular time frame.
mhm.
But you gotta remember too. Sometimes these kids want to start reading heavily. Depends on. I mean, if they're mature or not, I don't know. But it's whatever piques their interest. I'm not saying I can't sell you a book that's graphic because, well, it looks like you're mature enough, or, well, are you sure you want to get into this, or it's like, what? Okay, I mean, if you think you're to be into it, all right, try it out.
Well, and that's always where it comes down to like having parents involved, especially
Yeah.
if you're worried about like kids not being age appropriate for something. It's always like, yeah, it's probably like best to have just like the parents make a decision on stuff like that.
And
But yeah.
and it happens, and it happens, and look, when I get kids books like Sonic the Hedgehog, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Oh, nice.
or like something kid friendly, I have it. If your child's starting to learn how to read, I got the kid friendly ones right there. That's
Yeah,
it.
That's great.
But when you're growing up, you want to take it to the next level. I have these books, just depending on what it is. But again, just saying, are you sure you want it? It's
Shit's heavy.
it is what it is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That
It's fucking heavy.
basically
Well,
nowadays, elementary school or not, someone's going to read something.
So
Yeah.
I was at so it seems to me like you don't really order from any like the major distributors or anything like that. Basically, all of your stuff is secondhand, what you acquire from other people, what you acquire
Yeah.
offline and stuff like that. So you don't deal with any
Yes.
of that kind of stuff, then, do you?
Not okay. If it's something brand new, I do my best to pre-order it. Pre-order it the best way I could, and I'll get it. I may not get a bunch of them, but I'll get enough to probably hold me down. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'll put a few to the side. Other than that, I do what I can.
That's awesome.
So
That's
do
all
you?
anyone can do.
So you?
Yeah.
Do I understand that you've got a diamond account, but you just order to what people put?
No.
on the playlist?
I don't have a diamond account.
Okay.
Yeah, nowadays you don't even. Sometimes you don't even need a diamond account. You can just order off another store,
Right.
like what, Mile High, for example.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Or
That's awesome.
eBay or whoever.
And then, have you started carrying manga as well?
I don't really carry manga. If I carry anything like that, it's going to be like the US versions of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean manga. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get people asking for manga, but I have the comic book sized ones. Not a lot, but I got them.
Mm.
If I started carrying manga, personally, they're just going to sit there. You can get manga anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere here in town. Half Price Books, a friend,
Mhm.
Facebook Marketplace,
Mhm.
Barnes and Noble, Walmart, Target. This goes on.
Do you
Yeah.
do you subscribe to the theory? Do you subscribe to the theory that all the youngsters that are reading manga now will eventually find North American and European comics? Do you think they're eventually going to some significant segment of those people that are reading manga now? Do you think they're eventually going to look around and discover the stuff that you enjoy?
I personally think that question is not a mystery, but it could vary. It can vary. I can't force somebody to. I can't say, "Hey, stop reading that. Read this, Superman." This is like One Punch Man, but better. But I do come across the people that like both, so that's pretty good too.
Sure.
So we got to remember, comic books are distributed all over the world. Okay, same thing with manga. It's just depending on that person's preference. That's it. I'll give you my opinion, but it's up to you if you want to follow it or not.
That's fine.
So you discovered Batman the animated series, and that's where that character and some of these characters they
Yes.
first got your attention. What was the
Yes.
first actual comic book that you came across and you remember buying and being like, oh man, they make these in comics too? Where was that connection for you? What title?
I personally, you know what? Let's see here. Obviously, my dad had comic books.
Mhm.
He did. So when it was time for me to start, I guess you can say start, getting my personal collection,
Mhm.
it was my dad bought me my first. I can't say first because he's giving me comic books.
Right.
Mhm.
He had, so that's, to me, it's like not a trick question.
Right.
But I remember my dad buying me the Batman Superman Adventures, the movie adaptation.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yep. It was
the world's finest. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes. And I still have it to this day. I still have it.
Nice.
Where it's at right now is probably one of my boxes. I remember that, and then from there on out, you know, I started doing it myself. Now, mind you, I can't say I learned the easy way. I can say I learned the hard way on how all this stuff works.
Mhm.
You know, who you buying it from? Is this a first print or a second print? Did you open the book? You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I have a quick question. Since we are talking about Batman the Animated Series and other such things, there seems to be a small discussion in the chat of whether Kevin Conroy's voice is the best Batman ever, and someone is very, very rudely hitting on people who happen to like their Adam West. So where do you stand on the best Batman?
you want to know the best Batman?
Mm-hmm.
Val Kilmer.
No!
No,
Oh.
Somebody give me the torch and the pitchforks. Holy cow.
No. Okay, so let me. You know what? So I was just watching Batman Forever last night. Yeah, no. So let me get to the beginning. So I started watching the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, and when I got older, I started watching the Adam West series. Okay, from the '60s.
Yeah.
And then so pretty much I grew up from animated all the way now to Robert Pattinson. So if you're saying voice actor wise, who's the best voice actor of Batman? Kevin Conroy, hands down. Everybody else does great, but personally, Kevin Conroy, that's it. Live action Batman. Oh my god! I mean, it's right now. My personal opinion, right now, who's the best one? From well, hold on, let me rephrase that. Obviously, I like Adam West. I like Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Affleck did great. Robert Pattinson did amazing. Val Kilmer and George Clooney. I mean, they did good. They did good, but who knew what it was going to come about 20 years later? So I like all of them,
Mm-hmm.
but I got to give it to Adam West.
See, when I was growing up, I'm much older than you. I started with Adam West. Like when I was in kindergarten, I guess it must have been on Nick or something because I would come home from elementary school and I would sit down and watch Adam West. And
Yeah.
I loved that Batman. And
Yeah, it's great. A great image
as I
of
got a
Batman.
little older, the animated series came on, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh shit, Batman can actually be like serious."
Yeah.
Badass.
What's you bring up Adam West? Long time ago, first grade. My dad he picked me and my brothers up from school, and he gave me a paper. Hey, we're gonna go to Austin at this time. Really, what's going on? There's gonna be a convention. Adam West and Burt Ward are gonna be there, and Frank Gorshin are gonna be there.
That's fun.
Yes. So that was actually my first convention to go to. That was my first convention to yeah. What the name was, I have no idea. But but you know what else is cool around that time? That's when they started doing the indie films or something, and that's when I saw Batman Dead End.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Are you're familiar with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to me, that was great. That was a good live action Batman.
And don't aliens show up at the end of that?
Yes.
Yep. Oh no. Well, no. It's the beginning,
Okay.
and then towards the ending, that's when they both come out.
Okay.
It was a cliffhanger ending, but I wanted more of it.
Oh yeah. It was good proof of concept. It was great.
So, okay. So back to the whole blast for the past.
Mm-hmm.
Adam West was actually here in town in Corpus Christi back in 1997. I was probably barely a year old. Did my dad take me over there? No, he did not. He was doing something for Habitat for Humanity.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing something for that. They didn't know.
He's part of that and a lot of other charities, but definitely
Okay.
Habitat for Humanity is one of his top ones.
Okay. So that being said, mind you, my dad and my godfather didn't know anything until my aunt's friend told her, hey, that this Adam West guy who played Batman, your brother might know about it or something. He's coming to town doing a charity, yada yada. So my dad, my godfather, they went over there to that charity event. They met him, they talked to him, he signed some autographs. My dad took a picture with him. I have that picture here, that actual picture. And there's a little bag my dad's carrying, an old bag. I have that bag still. I haven't used it in years, but I have it. I didn't realize until like maybe 2015, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, and what's cool about it also, my dad had asked him, "Hey, can you show me the dance, the Batman dance, the Batusi?"
Batusi.
Yeah, and he did. He showed my dad, and
That's hilarious.
yeah, well,
awesome.
it's hilarious and it's awesome at the same time.
Yeah. Oh,
then my dad showed that dance to me, and then when I got married, somewhere around that line, I did that dance too. Did I have the cape? No, I did not, but I had to do it. I had to. My dad got actually a few books signed. He has a book. It was a Batman 5, not a 500. It was one of those centerfolds. God dang it, not centerfold. I guess when Bruce Wayne came back as Batman, so he wanted to take his mantle back from Israel.
Okay.
He has that book signed. I have it with me. It's see, here's the one thing too that he didn't do. Adam West didn't just sign his name. He signed it to you because he knew what was up. He knew if he just did it like that, he knows you're gonna do something with it. When it's personalized, that's a different story.
Less likely to sell it.
Pretty much. So that book, it says to the Batcave, A West. Okay. And then my dad got a photo, an actual photo, him in costume and everything. It says to Armando, Adam West. Me growing up, I would always look through little drawers and everything. I didn't know who Adam West was. I just kept on seeing it in a drawer. Some guy just as Batman. Then eventually I started knowing who he was. So about a year ago, or almost 2 years ago, I got that autograph certified from JSA. They were here in Corpus at
nice.
Corpus Christi, at the Corpus Christi Con, and that and a few other things. So that I always wanted to get certified. There was a chance. I did it. I put it in those protective sleeves, and it's put away.
Cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. So the things I've been wanting to do, I've been doing them little by little.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and
you're living out your dreams, and you're not even 30. That's impressive.
I feel it. Sometimes I feel it. But that particular picture that my dad took with Adam West, I have it. It's in the back of a comic. Whenever Adam West passed away, I did it and my dad did it. He said, "I'm glad I met my hero back in the day." He posted that picture. I sort of met Adam West when I was probably 7, 8 years old. But hey, I was around it. And then what's funny? My dad ran into Burt Ward. My dad ran into Burt Ward there at the convention. He asked him, "Hey, can you sign my bat signal?" He said, "Yeah, I can sign anything you want for $40." Yeah, and then my dad ran into Frank Gorshin.
Yeah.
He just said, "No, sorry, man, no autographs. If you want, you got to go over there." So I was like, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a different time.
I've had two chances to see Adam West at a New York Comic-Con, and both times I was like, well, you can stand online for the next 3 hours, or you can go to a couple panels. And I was like, I really like Adam West, but I'm not doing that. I just can't stand online for 3 hours. Even my wheelchair,
what?
I can't stand online for 3 hours.
So to this day, did you ever meet him or no?
No, I've never gotten a chance to actually meet him. I've seen him a couple times, but I've never actually met him.
because are y'all familiar with those Galaxy Cons signings and anything like that they post on Facebook and Instagram? Okay,
Yeah,
so what I did.
I've seen several of them.
Okay, so
That's the ones where you can like send stuff in to get
you can send
signed and
stuff,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
send stuff in or buy the merchandise that's there.
Oh,
So for my 25th birthday, it was for a birthday present for
okay.
myself. Kevin Conroy and Tim Daly were doing, at that time, were doing autographs. So I ended up getting a poster, from Kevin Conroy, the Mask of the Phantasm poster, signed to me. Happy 25th birthday from The Dark Knight, Batman. And then he writes his name, and then he writes down Batman. Then he writes down Batman again at the bottom. So that was pretty cool. And
Yeah.
I had the money. I should have paid the extra $50 or whatever it was to do the 2-3 minute live chat with them. To this day, I kick myself in the ass for not doing it. I do, and I was like, man, I was.
I had a kid that used to hang out on my streams a lot. That he got to do that, and I got to do like the little video chat with all that stuff. And that video was so cool. He splooged about it for like hours. So yeah, that thing. I love the fact that they did stuff like that. I think that stuff's neat.
Yeah, I mean, that's good that they do
ever,
that.
Sorry, do you guys ever use Waze, the navigation tool, the app?
Sure.
You can customize it. And for a long time, they had Kevin Conroy's voice. You could have your little car turned into the back of the wheel, and you could have Kevin Conroy's voice telling you to hurry up and turn right and turn left and all that shit. And it was so much fun.
That's cool.
That is really dope. I love that. Yeah, that stuff's awesome.
So to answer the question, who's the best Batman? To me, even though everybody has their own different opinions, they all did good. They all did good. And we'll just see who's this next Batman coming up for Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, well, and that'll be one of those.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
I've had this conversation with lots of people over the years at cons and online and everything, and it's just there's very few people who play Batman that can do both truly be Bruce Wayne and truly be Batman. You normally get a Batman who kind of sort of does Bruce Wayne stuff, or a Bruce Wayne who sort of does Batman stuff. And even though it was all voice acting, I truly think that Kevin Conroy is the only actor I know that truly gave us Bruce Wayne and Batman at the same time. So that's why I feel that way. I mean, I don't know if he could have done it in live action the same way, but at least doing it through BTAS and his voice, you literally felt almost like it was a different person. Like you could tell it was the same person, but the voice, the annotations, all of that.
It just in the animated series, for what I remember growing up, even in the video games, that he can talk, as Batman, but then out of nowhere, as Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example. That first episode of the Batman animated series, Leather Wings.
Mm-hmm.
That. He does it. One of the scenes, a doctor he had contacted, he showed him a sample of little did they know it was a giant bat. Obviously he was on the computer, and the suit and everything. He gets the phone call. Again, he's talking as Batman. Then all of a sudden, he picks up the phone and he's all, "Oh, what's up, Doc?"
Yeah.
Like instant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While in the mask. So that tells you that he did everything on point, was so smooth, he knew what to do.
Yep.
Absolutely. Diesel, you need to head out, buddy.
Yeah. I'm like, reached the end of my.
Diesel's dying.
Sorry.
You're good, buddy.
Yeah, man. But like that first season of the animated series, there was such a distinction between Kevin Conroy's Bruce Wayne and Batman, especially in that first season. Like you're talking about, I know exactly what you're talking about on Leather Wings, where he's just like, he does this. And then he's like, "Oh, hi, Doc. You got that sample for me?" Like that just changes like, boom, just like right there. But, I'm sorry, man.
Go rest before you start to sound like Batman.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, It was good to meet you, Armando. Sorry, I'm freaking sick.
Nah,
I
it's
breathed
nah,
in
it's
a
all
bunch
good.
of crud and got some basement junk going on, man.
No, it's all good, man. You're good. You're good.
But hey,
See you next week, Diesel.
yeah, we'll see you guys later, man. Y'all have a good one.
Get rest.
There you go. Follow Diesel on Twitter. Go hang out with him on Iron Oxide Show. They got some fun sci-fi stuff they're doing over there. Thanks for being here, buddy. Go get some rest,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Take some vitamin C.
We'll see you.
There you go. There you go. That's Diesel, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. The nice fade out the glory. That was great. And just I meant to bring this up at the beginning of the stream, and it just kind of slipped my mind. I will have to cut out for a little while around 7:30, but Jason and Tiny will be here, and they'll keep you going and all that guys. You guys keep having a conversation. I'll be back. I just have something I have to go take care of for a little bit, but I'll be back before the end of the show. And you guys can chit chat about all your favorite comic book nerd news and freaking like favorite runs and all of that kind of fun stuff too as well. So, one of the things I did want to ask you about, Armando, as far as like, what do you think? I mean, I know you said you kind of see a mix of a fair amount of like the new and some of the old stuff, but it seems like you deal in some of the more old stuff. Is there some particular runs that you see that a lot of people nowadays that have become like popular like in the last few years people are looking for in particular now? Is there something you're always trying to get a hold of that you just can't ever seem to keep enough of it in stock?
And surprisingly, these are the books that you didn't really think of, but all of a sudden years later, oh, these are popular covers. That's it. Had the story. Who knows? I always try to get the Batman Year 2 set, the Frank Miller Wolverine set, the Dark Knight Returns, the Death of Superman. Whatever. I mean, nobody really wants the other books to it, but if I have the whole set, I'm gonna sell it as a set. The Spider-Man set, where the different covers, the different holograms, they each have posters, and one of them was a preview of Spider-Man 2099. The Ultimate Fallout set, first appearance of Miles Morales. Man, the list goes on. Oh, even if they're not sets, one of them that it's hard to find is the Batman 243 or 242, where Batman's holding the girl on the mountaintop. That one I don't see often. I don't. A Hulk 340, I don't see that often either. The list goes on, like I said. It goes on, and if one day I come across it, great. And if I don't, well, time goes on. Those are just a few things on top of my head that are good examples.
So
the Old Man Logan set. I forgot about the Old Man Logan set.
Oh yeah, that makes total sense, especially right now too with Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh my god!
And if somehow I don't get the complete set, if I just get the issues that are kind of scattered, I'll sell them separate. Yeah,
I hadn't even actually thought about that. I guess Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe has got to be getting huge right now after the movie.
I have the whole set. Do I have the whole set, or I just have the first issue? Damn, I can't remember. That's actually a set too that I do not see. I mean, again, I've had issue number 1, but the complete set I haven't had it. I had the trade paperback, but that one sells fast too. The Flashpoint set.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That one, and sometimes people look for the actual run. One time, and I had the whole run of the Batman the New 52. I had it. I didn't think I was ever going to sell it, but again, space is limited. I had these books for a long time. I already have my joy. Let them make someone else happy. So they needed number 6. I had it, and I was like, you know what? How much are you willing to pay for it? $60. Okay, sure. All the reason why, because the show, not Gotham. It was on the CW, I think. God, what was it?
Oh, Gotham Knights?
Yes, there you go. Yeah. That's the only because Tally came out. That's the only reason why that book shot up. Only reason. So
That's funny.
I
'Cause that was
sold.
a horrible show.
Yeah, I can't imagine someone coming in, having seen that horrible movie, and coming in and asking for Flashpoint comics and being like, "Who are all these other characters? What the hell? This is so much better. This is."
Well, and I think that's one of the nice parts is even if the show's bad, it still has people going out there and looking for the books of these characters because then you go, oh wow, so this is what the character's supposed to really be like. This is so much better, and now they're gonna read all the damn comics, which is great.
Yeah, so I mean, the way I see it, good or bad, you know,
as long as it brings attention to the originals and people will eventually
get
the good stuff.
Yes,
that's all that really matters.
Yeah, so pretty much my whatever collection I have. Even obviously, I still have my stuff. Whatever I had that I said, I'll just put it on sale. Were almost complete runs from the New 52 and different time frames. So
sorry,
it's okay. No, you're good.
I was gonna say I will admit I was not the biggest fan of the New 52, but the one thing I bring up all the time is the Aquaman 1 from New 52. I think is one of the funniest books ever made ever, where he stops a big horrible thing from happening. Like there was a tidal wave or something, and he saves the city, and like no one gives him any respect. He walks into a seafood restaurant, and everyone's staring at him. As someone looks at him and goes, "You can't eat fish. You talk to fish." And he's like, "I don't talk to fish. I command them. I sometimes talk to dolphins, but I don't talk to fish." And then some little kid turns around in the booth and looks at him and goes, "What's it like being the biggest loser in the Justice League?"
Yeah.
Or something similar to that. And oh my God, he leaves a gold coin for his waitress and just stomps out. But it was just, honestly, it was the most self-reflective and funny book I think I've ever read.
So Aquaman just gets poor. He just gets shit out all the time. That poor. He just gets no respect. He deserves more respect. He gets no respect. He gets no respect at all. Poor man.
Oh my God. But at that time, the New 52 was popular. I started reading the Batman New 52, and I stopped reading it at a certain point. But at that time, those stories caught my attention. Mm-hmm. So I was reading those. That Spawn. I was reading the Spawn, Judge Dredd. I am the law. Yeah, I am the law. And some Marvel comic books. Back then the story writing was good. The covers were different. Sometimes the covers were good. Sometimes they were crap. But crap or not, I wanted to read the story. And you know what too? Talk about hard books to find, and I didn't know this. Are y'all familiar with the Terrifier movie series, Art the Clown, by any chance?
Okay. I don't do horror almost at all, so.
Okay,
would know that one.
Okay, well, look up the Terrifier. Okay, so I look on their store when mind you, this is an indie movie. Okay, low budget. When the second movie came out, that movie just skyrocketed with oodles of money.
Oh wow!
It made more than what it anticipated for an indie horror film. So there was the shop. They said, "Oh, you want to buy merch, exclusive merch? Go in the shop." And I didn't know there were comic books. There was three issues, and I'm guessing it was just an adaptation to it. So they had the variants. They had the signed copies from the actor and the director. You cannot find those because they were print to order.
Okay.
Can I go buy one now? I can't off the website. I got to go buy it on eBay or somehow I find it at a show. But obviously, it's going to be just a raw copy. It just maybe go for $300, if not more, because I can't. Yeah, no. It look it up. Look it up. That right there, I don't think I would ever see. Personally, I don't think I would. If I got the money to buy an issue number 1, graded or raw, or any of them, I probably have a better chance finding all 4 of the James Laborde Crows than I would find those. That's all I'm saying.
He used to come down. Did you ever go to RealmsCon back when RealmsCon was still a thing?
Oh yeah.
Well, because he used to come down all the time. I've actually got some signed prints from him somewhere around here.
I do too. I got some prints. I got original artwork also, and I got the actual movie poster signed by him too.
That's dope. That's
signed
awesome.
it, and yeah. Well, back then he was free autographs. Now I guess he charges.
Yeah.
For what the item is, I'm not too sure. But I have some of the action figures. I have the movies, obviously. I have the first pop it came out. When I remember when the Blu-ray movie came out of The Crow, I got lucky and I found it. And when he came into town, I had him sign it. I had him sign that, and I was just nerding out. I was like, I love your work. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, your artwork is just fantastic. You really don't see that type of artwork today. I mean, you do, but not as, I can't say rough, but it was just, it was just the
energy to it. Yeah, his art has an energy to it. There's a definite
yes, it does. Yes,
how you feel when you're looking at it. It's not that the art is rough. It's the emotion and the energy that comes out of the art.
Yes, exactly. To this,
all artists.
He's pouring his soul into that.
Yes,
art.
yes.
It's unique. You see things that are similar to it, but you don't see anything like what he did. It is very him.
It's to this day, favorite artist. I actually got to think who my actual ones are, but he's on the top. If I'm going to say favorite artwork, it'd be him. It would be him because, again, like you said, he puts the emotion to it. It's just the sweat, the tears, the actual work to it. He put work into it. Nowadays, it's just digital. That's it. I'm not saying I don't like digital. It's just that if I'm going to pay for a commission, if I'm going to pay good money for a commission, I want that hand drawn. And I had the opportunity to get 2 art commissions from him.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, that's yeah. Really cool. Yes. And next time when I'm on the show, I'll find him and I'll show him to you.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
for you.
Yeah, Lavistro, we got a question for you in the chat. Lavistro says, growing up, I collected the Sonic the Hedgehog, the Archie comic editions. I have issues 0s and the miniseries that ended up starting the line. Do people look for those? I know another publisher runs the comics, but I would think it'd be funny if people hunt for Archie comics because, well, it's Archie. So do you ever have any Archie fans looking for things like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, at the show, there's one guy, Sonic the Hedgehog. See, this right here, it doesn't matter what generation. Now generation or old generation, do you have Sonic the Hedgehog? Do you have Teenage Mutant? Yeah, sure, I do. Sometimes I don't get a big old run of it. Mm-hmm. If somehow I do, and again, I don't know too much about Sonic the Hedgehog. All I know is he's a popular character. Everybody loves it. Popular game character. Okay. At one time, I got a decent stack of Sonic the Hedgehog. Little did I know, some were low print, some had something significant to it, some were just, okay, I'll put in the half off. This guy, whatever Sonic the Hedgehog I had, he bought. I gave him a good deal, but the one I did find at an antique store was, okay, this was the Sega 1.5. It was printed on newspaper. It was no thinner. It was like no bigger than a sheet of paper. Mm-hmm. I found it. And I looked online, it said this is a promotional giveaway. You buy the video game, they give you the book, and I guess a month or 2 later, or something like that, the actual number 1 comes out. So I had it. The guy knew about it, he just never seen it. And I said, I got it there, man. It could be yours for this price. I'll give it to you out the door. He said, do you have any more? Sonic the Hedgehog? Yeah, sure. He pretty much cleaned me out.
Nice.
Yeah, so young or old, they're gonna hunt for it. Anything Archie related stuff like that, or that has to do with those particular characters like TMNT, Sonic, or anything else, they're gonna look for it. That's the one thing I've noticed over the years, that if you want it, you're gonna look for it, and you're gonna pay for it. You want it that bad, you gotta pay. You gotta pay the price.
Oh, no.
So I travel for my job, and when I go from city to city, after I'm done with my day job, I try I unwind by I look in Google, and I hit every comic book shop I can and just kind of browse, because it's a good way to decompress for like an hour, just digging through a comic book shop that you've never been to before.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is that I never see back issues of Invincible in the wild. Do you see the same thing, or do people walk in and sell old copies of Invincible? What's your experience?
It's a bit of both. Obviously, again, whoever has a collection, what it is, if they know what it is, they'll tell us. If they don't know what it is, okay, just bring it on by. Well, we'll check it out. I don't see Invincible comics often. Are they hard to find in my area? No. If you want the earlier ones, obviously you got to pay for them.
Sure.
Yeah, so it just really depends on the area that you live at.
Okay.
There was a gentleman. He's from Chicago, and the books that I had, at that time, he said, "Man, the comic book store in Chicago, y'all have the best selection
Nice.
he's seen." And again, this is what I do too. I'm flexible. I do my best to work out deals and everything. And so I told him, look, if you want some of these books, just tell me, and I'll help you out, And I gave him and whatever the amount was, I said, I can do all this for this price. His eyes were like this. He's all, you know what? I'll do it. Go anywhere else, and they won't give you the time of day. It's either you want it, or you don't. That's it.
So I have a random question specifically for you and for Jesse to some degree. Have either of you guys ever been to AggieCon?
I have no idea what that is.
Texas A&M University has the largest student-run convention in the country. And they get some really cool authors and some really cool people who show up sometimes. And I just wasn't sure if you'd ever been. Just wondered.
No. I had no idea that existed, but I'm not surprised. There's always something new going on.
Well, I didn't know AggieCon existed until I went to A&M.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, there's always some shows going on here in town, in the Valley, McAllen, Victoria, San Antonio, but in Dallas, Houston, the bigger cities. And this Corpus Christi Con, from it being already the 6th or 7th one, it's getting there. It really is. Little by little, it's going to get there. And I have in good faith that it's going to be eventually the one you want to go to.
Yeah. I hope so. Because I do hope they continue to grow and get a lot bigger and stuff. Because it's one of those things. It's like we went, we obviously were at the con. We were at the con for all 3 days, and it's one of those things. It's like we spent more time on the convention floor than we did pretty much almost anything else. Because like with one of the older cons we had, it's like there was a ton of crap going on all the time, and this one it's like we've got the main showroom floor, and that's what we've got going on.
Okay, check this out. Out of the years that the Corpus Christi Con's been around, out of those years, how many people did you see sell anime stuff at a Comic Con?
Oh, I mean, Realms Con was a little bit different because they catered towards like anime and stuff.
Not Realms Con, Comic Con.
Right. But other ones, Comic Cons and stuff like that, not nearly as much. So, I don't remember the first year down here, but it's been a while too.
Okay. Well, what I remember, and again,
you were on the convention floor too, so that would have been different.
Yeah. Well, even before I had my shop, I was still there. I saw a lot of vendors there with more anime than, your action figures, your comics, and all that other stuff. And video games too. I mean, I'm not saying nothing about the video games. If you want to be there selling video games, go right ahead. It's just more that particular merch, the anime stuff. Why is it there at a Comic Con? And out of the years, that's what I saw. Now this year, I did not see anyone selling anime. That was one of the things I was like, there's nobody selling anime here. Okay. Because normally, and here's the other one. There's the anime Corpus Christi one that's coming up in February. Am I going to be a part of it? I may or may not. I'm not too sure. but in the past there was vendors that sold nothing but anime too. Very little comic book vendors. And I'm like, even if I went to this one, I'm gonna sell comics, you know. And this one was particularly different. That I was like, something's missing. And then like the second day, I was like, you know what? There's no one selling the anime books, the anime figures. You know, I was like, okay, that's a new different. To me, it's like, thank God, because now you have other people here with stuff that's, you know, obviously comic book related, action figure related. You know, something that I'm actually gonna walk from my booth over there to go check it out. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
In
we had a fair
2010 oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I
Jeff.
was just gonna say this year we had a fair amount of just straight comic book vendors, which was nice. But yeah, I didn't see a lot of people selling like big stacks of manga or anything like that. I saw plenty of figurines, but at the typical stores at the typical ones where you always see the figurines of all the different kinds. But yeah, it was definitely a lot more superhero stuff there. And I love seeing I loved being able to dig through all the comic
The one thing I see too much of is that a lot of people sell a bunch of pops. There could be a pop person there, another row over there, another row around there, you know, a bunch of just pops. I'm like, have one or two people just do it. Don't have like a majority of vendors selling the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one thing I've always had an irk for, was that wind it down on all that. Actually, as a matter of fact, 2 years ago, 2022, I was doing I was doing a live thing on Facebook with somebody local, and out of nowhere, he said, "Yeah, they're going to be out of the two people there selling comic books." I was like, "What?" Like I was like, whoa, like actually like live like this. And I said, "Are you serious? Two people?" He said, "Yeah, two people, me and my buddy Steven." I was like, mind blown. And actually, as a matter of fact, too, at that time, Comic Palooza was going on in Houston at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only guessing a lot of those vendors sold the books and everything were over there.
Yeah.
And us being local, obviously we're going to attend, you know, because obviously we got to represent our city. And, you know, yeah. And
well, back in 2010, New York Comic Con had an area that was for anime. And in 2011, there was an entire floor that basically was for anime. And then in 2012, it was okay. There's New York Comic Con and there's Anime Con, but they're still technically in the same, like they're all together.
Yes, yes.
Finally, they were like, okay, it's just too much. We can't do this anymore. And they totally separated it out. So there are areas at New York Comic Con. Okay, I haven't been there since 2018, so I don't know for sure. But
my thing is, if you got the space to do whatever you want, do it. If you want to have this certain space for it over here, do it. If you got the other one to do it for this, do it. If you want to separate them, go right ahead. Unless you want to merge them together, you know. Basically, if you have an envision to have anything at a show, make sure you got the space for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, New York Comic Con just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens at Madison Square Garden, not just at the Javits Center. But it was just really interesting to me to watch that, like, okay, so anime is big into pop culture now. Well,
yes.
Now Comic Con's getting even bigger, and anime is getting bigger, and the
positive thing personally, I don't have nothing against anime. I don't. It's just that the one thing I'm noticing and seeing, and it's been in my mind over the years, that Comic-Con, it's actually, or any type of convention, is actually bringing an anime, anything anime, to that. A different genre merging with, a US related genre, but you brought up it's part of pop culture now. You're positively right. I agree with it. So they belong personally. And again, this is the whole me doing a saying that when people want to be themselves, if you want to jump as Goku, Sailor Moon, whoever from an anime, go right ahead. So it's to me, I see it good that you're getting those two genres merged together in the same building.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the bigger cons, like New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, they still have Comic Con in their name, but if you actually look at who's running it or what it says, they all say a pop culture convention. And that's
Yeah,
how
so-
I feel like they can merge everything together. I have
Yeah,
another
yeah,
random
yeah.
question. There are a couple authors, mostly urban fantasy and such, that have actually started putting out graphic novels or comics connected to their books. Like Jim Butcher has at least 2 or 3 connected to his Dresden's Files. I who was it? Sherilyn Kenyon. Sherilyn Kenyon had a bunch done for the Dark Hunters. Do you see those very much at all, or is that just like very niche?
Like what? Like anime, like certain like titles like that out in the wild.
Like authors taking their books that people love and turning them into graphic novels and comics. Because I only know 2 authors that have done it, but I know that at least these 2 authors have done it, and other people kind of talk about it. So I didn't know if that was building or if that's just for us
Personally,
already.
Well, personally, this goes back to the Free Comic Book Day comics. Obviously, you read a manga, okay. Now, years ago, I guess when they did the DBZ, the Dragon Ball Z. I'm just gonna say Dragon Ball Z was in the back. What they made? Okay. So there was a book, Dragon Ball Z. It was an anime comic. It was Dragon Ball Z, and then the other side of it was dang it, what was it? Okay. I'm just gonna say Pokemon. So that being said, sometimes these books that are manga related, and if they print them in a US format comic, that is a first appearance of that manga title being in a US first standard comic. So there is value in those. Not a lot, but if you're familiar with anime and everything, it's going to tell you, Naruto's first appearance in the US standard comic, or first time in the in a US publishing, something like that.
I don't think I'm being clear about what I'm asking, so I actually pulled it up. Jesse, can you let me share it there? So
okay.
Jim Butcher has it's going to be 25 by the time it's done, but he has a 22 book series about the Dresden Files, and like he decided to actually start making graphic novels, versions of his books, and also graphic novels that are their own standalone stories from that universe. And I just didn't know if you were seeing any of this showing up more in the comic book stores and stuff, or if this is just niche for those of us who know the novels and go order it from that type of thing.
You know what? Okay, now I understand. My bad. I didn't mean to.
I knew I wasn't explaining it right. So
okay.
I just pull it up.
Do I see niche stuff like that? Not okay. It's around, but you got to have that niche person that actually wants to read stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
So do I see it lingering in the shelf? Maybe, I don't even know.
Okay, cool.
So to answer your question, it's 50-50.
Okay.
I want to read those.
Really good.
I want to read those now. That's hella freaking cool. Christy, what's going on, girl? Glad to see you made it in.
Hi.
How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you? Yeah, I was wondering, Tiny, why do you think people that are novelists are doing that? I just have a theory that it just opens their stories up to a broader audience, because kind of the graphic novel format brings in maybe younger readers.
That's very possible. Also,
personally, I have something to say about that.
Oh, sure.
If you want to do and this is what I see too, when we're at conventions, you're going to see someone publishing their own graphic novel or their own comic book. Whatever they do, more power to them. If it becomes big, congratulations. But I personally think if you do it in a graphic novel format, you can put so much in that thick book, or so thick, instead of it being separate issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing obviously it's easy for them to do it instead of making separate prints. And from there on out, you're getting a full story. So that's one way for them to get noticed, is just to personally make it into a graphic novel, sell it, If the people like it, they go back to you.
Mhm.
And to me, you get a lot in a graphic novel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think to some degree what you said, Chris, that it could be opening it up to younger audiences. I think part of it is also, well, there's two things. One, I know Jim Butcher loves comics, so when Dynamite
Okay.
said Kawana would make a comic of your novel, he probably was like hard as wood. And, but also, a lot of people don't see things in their head when they're reading. Like I'll put down a book and I'll come back and try to figure out what I was watching on TV because I practically see a movie in my head. But a lot of people don't see that. And when you have a really cool magic world or intricate world or something, you can describe it in the book very well. But if you want the people to see what you're seeing in your head when you're writing it, a graphic novel allows you to actually show people, this is what I meant. This is what I see when I'm talking about this character or this type of situation or this type of fight or whatever.
Okay.
And there's another level of interaction with the story I think you can get from a graphic novel that you can't get from just pure text.
Yeah, no. In the graphic novels, obviously you gotta have the right artist to do it and all the other stuff. You know, you gotta have that right envisionment for those particular chapters of a novel. It's just like this. Even if they don't make it into a book, I mean a comic book or a manga, somehow they're gonna make it into an animated series or a movie. You know,
they did a live action Dresden Files and it was awful. But
yeah.
Thank you for warning me. I just thought it was on Amazon Prime. Thank you for warning
let me put it
me.
this way. I know a lot of people who've watched the series and they were really intrigued and they got into the novels because of the live action series. But almost anyone who's ever read the novels can admit that the live action series was not. But Jim's actually he's waiting to get the rights back, and he's talked to a lot of his fans, and we love the graphic novel so much that he's thinking about doing the Dresden Files as animation. Because as he said, in animation, if you blow up the entire city of Chicago or you don't blow up the entire city of Chicago, it costs the same.
Yeah.
So, like, effects in live action cost a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, it just really depends on how they want to go about it. That's it. That's really how it's at the end of the day. That's the gist of it. How do you want to go about it? It's up to you. But do I see a lot of people doing that, like you're saying, like, you know, making their own novels or graphic novels? Yeah, I see a lot of it at a convention.
So what are some titles that have been released like in the past 10 years that you think are going to become future keys? Is there anything you see that's going to
like what's been like what's been printed out in the past 10 years? Is that what you mean?
Like, in terms of what new comics just kind of were background noise, but you think you see the value going up, or you think they're going to become keys?
Okay. I'm gonna try to answer this question as best as I could. Ultimate fell at number 4 for Spence Miles Morales. Nobody knew what they're going to do with that character. What is it? 7-10 years later?
Mm-hmm.
Well, even actually, prior to that, they started putting him in cartoons. Started doing that. Okay. And this is where they hit, and this is where popularity and merch sales come into play. Okay, this particular character is popular in the book. Okay, there's a lot of, they want more of it. He's just not going to be a one-time character. They wanted him to be an ongoing character like we see today. So, what did they do? They did it for older people like me, because he came out when I was probably a freshman in high school or a junior. And he was a popular character. Did we know what was going to go on with it down the road? No, we did not. But before you know it, seeing him in cartoons, little kids shows, started making the action figures of it. And then now what do you see? You see him on the big screen, animated. You see him animated. And in video games. And that's one character one book or the set is gonna hold its ground for years to come. Deadpool, that's another example. Deadpool, he's been holding his ground for 30 years. Harley Quinn, pretty much if I'm relating to a character, that's what, even to this day, 10 years, 30 years, whatever they've been made, they've been holding their ground for that long. So they're doing something right. They're doing something positive, great with those characters, they could probably stand the test of time for all we know. So it really just depends on what that character is and what they do, and it's up to us, the people, the comic book readers, or whatever. If we like it, we want more of it. If we don't, we don't want to see this anymore. Unless somebody does it right with that C-list character, and all of a sudden they made it badass, then great. So personally, what I think is all these main heroes that we see today, they're just going to hold their ground. They're just going to hold their ground for these years to come.
So from your point of view, if you could give Marvel and DC some advice and say, hey, right now your cinematic universe is kind of in the lulls right now. People might be burned out on, might be burned out on Thor or whatever. What are some characters that you see people connecting with that you think are untapped, that if you could call up Marvel and say, hey, this character, you need to do something with this character because I can see out here people are connecting to this character. They haven't been overexposed yet. What would you tell Marvel or DC?
Personally, I personally would say, get these characters that we just see in books, cartoons, or action figures. And these are popular characters. Let's just say that, or becoming popular. Can you put these people in here? Why do I say that? Because all of a sudden you throw somebody else in there that may not make sense. It may make sense in the book or in the TV show or in the animated show or whatever video game, but why all of a sudden did you throw that character into a movie or in a live action series when you could have just done this with this particular character? So to me it's like, oh, like James Gunn, look what he's doing. He's bringing in Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific. So even for the animated stuff he's doing, he's busting out a lot of stuff that I actually want to see. Mm-hmm. Is Marvel doing that? They're doing it in their own way. They're both doing it in their own separate ways. The one thing I think that DC has on Marvel is their animated stuff. Did y'all ever see the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths by any chance?
I've heard good things about it, so
it's great. It's great. Watch all three of them. It's great. Okay. Or even the animated movies. To me, don't get me wrong, Marvel can do good, but it's just the way they've been building. It's just the way they laid out the foundation for both those companies. One was how can I say? When Marvel first started, obviously it started out during World War II. More or less same thing with DC. So how it all started off is when, they were serious back then. Serious. They actually, were like, oh, this is what's going on at this time frame. World War II is happening. That's just an example. So from then to now, has it kind of watered down? Yes, it has. But if I want to take over, I'm going to do it my way. Mm-hmm. If you're going to take over, you're going to do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
But the way we're going to do it, we might like it, but is the other person going to like it? So the reason why I mentioned James Gunn, because again, he's bringing in Hawk Girl. And these is very early on in his universe. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sometimes back then we didn't, like Marvel, 10 years plus years. Little by little, we started seeing these characters come out of nowhere or rumored, it's for them to be in, a show, movie, like what Disney's doing. Look what Disney and Marvel doing right now. They're doing the live action Disney shows, like Moon Knight and all that. The defense. Okay, like Netflix. Remember Netflix? They had the rights to Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
See. They did it right.
Yeah.
Why? Because when you're like on main things like that, main companies like that, I'm going to do it full on, go all out, action, anything. I'm going to go all out on it. And the Daredevil show is great. Punisher's great. Mm-hmm. because they did it the way. That's why sometimes you see all these little things. They might be little, but they make a big difference. Like, why is Batman the Cape Crusader on Amazon Prime? Because I guess they didn't want it. I'm not saying they didn't want it personally on the Max. I just think because there's just so much going on, it may not, they may not have a chance to put it on there, so that's why it's probably on there. Why did Marvel all of a sudden, Disney and Marvel all of a sudden get the rights to Daredevil and Punisher and all that? Because we want to see those characters come into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Why did it take so long to see Daredevil, Deadpool,
Yep.
In a movie, But to me, it's like time. Was it time to see Deadpool in a movie? What would have happened if they did it early 2000s, for example? Was it time for it? Probably not. For that particular character, it was the right time to do it. Like, for example, Spawn and Blade. Did they need to make a Spawn movie? Like, for him being already, 7 years out? You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
So let me run something by you. So
The comics and the animated Spawn I loved. Spawn movie, I
Yes.
live without.
I'm glad that Todd got a bunch of money, but nobody needed that Spawn movie. So the BBC and Disney, they've pretty much fans of Doctor Who have become very disenfranchised over the past 5 or 6 years, right? So Disney and the BBC, they've kind of they've taken the charm away from Doctor Who. I'm going to run something by you, okay? DC has a golden opportunity to fill that gap left by the absence of good Doctor Who by giving us a Space Cabbie movie or a Space Cabbie TV show. Think about it. Space Cabbie can go anywhere, and
I love Space Cabbie. I had totally forgotten about that character. I love Space Cabbie. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Space Cabbie could be the Space Cabbie could scratch the.
Who's Doctor Who? I get the concept. I get the concept, but it honestly, bro, it just really depends on that character that they want to take a chance on.
It also depends on how they do him. They can do him as Space Cabbie as a just, a sarcastic know-it-all who drives people around and doesn't actually tell them what they need to know, or they can make it a lot more pedantic and not as fun. It really depends on who does Space Cabbie because he's a special character.
It also depends on who's taking over the script and directing it. If that person has done good, let's just say this: the scriptwriter who they did let's just say this: they did all 4 movies for John Wick. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
The scriptwriter who did that for John Wick. Go ahead, let's do it. Let's do it. If he's doing this good for those movies, what makes you think he's not going to do justice for this character? Those are just examples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it just really depends on who wants to take the chance, to go about it. That's it.
Is there anything that Marvel or DC are currently publishing that you're still following or excited about collecting? Anything current?
Oh my god. You really want to know my answer on that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, personally, whatever it could be, sometimes they overhype it, or it's just gonna out of nowhere be popular. It just depends on what it is, on the title. It could be a Batman title, or it can be a Spider-Man title. It just really depends on what the heck's going on, and it could be a bust. What I've seen over the years is that the two companies have been doing things like sometimes not in sequence. Like, why all of a sudden did you have this run from 1 through 7? All of a sudden you're going to redo it?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Oh, now this particular person's doing this. Oh, now this book's going to get hot. It's like, it can get hot, but things that are hot can cool down. Then all of a sudden, personally, you're going to get stuck with it. You know, it just really depends on what's going on. It just really depends.
Do you think the 6-issue story arc, which some people call, writing for the trade, do you think that's been net detrimental to mainstream North American comic books, or do you think it's been net beneficial because it's provided an opportunity to get trades in bookstores? Where do you land?
To me personally, if you cannot get a comic book, an actual, physical comic, and you've been wanting to do it, see, here's the one thing we're forgetting. You can read comic books online and manga. You can read anything online now. So it just really depends on who wants to invest time and money on. Personally, I like the graphic novels because if I get the comic book, the actual book, and it's a popular book, or I don't want to mess with it, I'll collect all 6 of them, but I'll wait till the trade paperback comes out. So, and then too, the trade paperbacks are, to me, I do like them because already you get the full story, part of the story. You can actually take those graphic novels and read them wherever you want to go. And sometimes they can be not pricey, but all of a sudden this one could be out of print, so they are valuable. Like this is another example: Batman versus Predator and Superman Batman versus the Alien. Those crossovers.
Mhm.
You're not going to see no reprints of those. You're not, because why? Disney owns the Predator and Alien now.
Mhm.
And I've had a few of those graphic novels, and they sold.
I had to wait 30 years for my ROM omnibuses. That took 30 years to get those.
No, but to me personally, investment wise, money wise, if that's what you can afford, a graphic novel, go right ahead.
Mm-hmm.
You already got all the stories in there, but if you want to do the serious collecting, go ahead, get the book, get them. But if you don't want to mess them up, just go for the graphic novel or go read them online. So there's benefits everywhere.
It's one of the reasons I like omnibuses so much. If you can have the money to buy an omnibus. I had an omnibus of Judge Dredd, and it was huge, and it was amazing, and it lost it in my move to California. It was so sad.
Oh, you know what I have, and this is my first omnibus that I bought. I'm just gonna say 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Neil Gaiman Sandman run.
Oh,
the first volume, the leather bound one. Guess where I found it?
Half price books.
Excuse me?
I said flea market. Jason, what's your guess?
Half price books.
Half price books. What's your guess, Christy?
eBay.
Okay.
No, I found it at Half Price Books.
Ah, fuck, Jason.
I did. No, because there was a guy there that I knew, and he collected books too, and he said, "Hey, we just got this Neil Gaiman leatherbound and all that stuff. It's really good." Was I into the Sandman or any of those titles from DC Vertigo? Not really, but I bought it anyway. Now, mind you, at that time, season 1 of Constantine didn't come out yet. Maybe about a year later, when I saw that show, I wanted to know more of that character. See, this is the thing. I liked the first season, and again, where they had it was NBC. If you go to if you have a show on NBC like Supergirl, for example, you'd be surprised if it makes it to season 2. You'd be so surprised. But what did they do? Whoever wanted to make do with those characters, they shipped them to the CW. Great decision. To me personally, they had no business in NBC. But that TV show got me interested in Constantine Hellblazer. Mm-hmm. I started reading the first three or four graphic novels of Hellblazer. And mind you, I grew up with, Batman, Superman. I was reading those books. And now, yes, no, they are. They were a bit different, but yet I wanted to explore more into the other side of those writers. I read them. It was great. I like them. Would I read it again? Yes. Did I finish reading Hellblazer? No, I didn't. But yet, I know I gotten like 4 or 5 graphic novels in deep. Great. Mm-hmm. I liked them. Sandman, I read I haven't read issue number 1. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't read any of the issues, only but issue number 3. Why? Because Constantine was in there. The story was great. The Dream a Little Dream of Me.
It's a beautiful crossover. And
the
characters, I mean, Constantine absolutely fits into Neil Gaiman's worlds.
Yes. So and yeah, it's a beautiful story. I like it.
So have you read the Rick Veitch run on Swamp Thing? He took over after Alan Moore.
Oh,
he was drawing like the last year of the Alan Moore run, but then he was writing and drawing.
Honestly, I'm not too sure if I have or not. But again, here's the thing. Again, Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
A little reason why I read Swamp Thing, because in issue 37 of Swamp Thing, his first appearance was in it. I read that Swamp Thing issue 37. Amazing. Do I have it anymore in my collection? I don't. But will I get it back again? Eventually, yes. I was reading the books that had Constantine in there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So my advice to you is hunt down the Rick Veitch run of Swamp Thing, because John Constantine plays a very, very pivotal part in the fate of Swamp Thing, and in that run in particular. And I do not want to spoil it. Spoil it. But if you're a John Constantine fan, hunt those down. They're I think they're beginning to collect them in trade. They may eventually do an omnibus and include the issue they got prevented from being printed. But I would say check that out, because you see back then they knew how to write stories.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they don't know how to write stories now, but
I'll say that.
But it's like, okay, let's just say this. I was in high school. I saw Constantine. I was probably no older than 17, 18 years old at the time, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I recorded it. If I missed it, I would watch it. When I would come from work, if I missed it, I'll watch it. It was good. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, again, I was only used to reading, Flash, Batman, and all them. The only reason why I wanted to give Constantine a chance, because I saw the preview, I saw the trailer. I was like, you know what? Hey, this looks cool. I'm gonna check it out. So at my old age at that time, wanted to try something new, and I did. I gave it a chance. Got my attention. I tried it. I read it. I enjoyed the stories, and for a character that was already out 20 plus years, I just barely found out. I knew about him. I just didn't know the history about it.
He was considered more obscure from the main group of DC Comics, that comic book characters that most people know. I mean, there's a lot of what might have been considered slightly obscure characters that things like
talk about obscure characters. Talk about that. Okay, live action TV. Live action TV. You got a lot of those characters that were just like how can I say? Okay, like the CW, Arrow. Okay, you got some of those characters that you didn't think you see in a movie, only in a cartoon, but in a TV show. Okay, Wildcat, Vigilante, some of the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the Flash. You got those, and you got Ragman in the Arrowverse. So you got a lot of those characters that how did you you had a word for that? What was the word for it?
Obscure.
You had those obscure characters make their live action debut in a TV show, which was in the CW Arrowverse, and they did great. I mean, again, depending who's writing it, they did great.
Mm-hmm.
They did fantastic. So it really just depends on what, I guess, the budget is and what they want to do with these shows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was thinking about like in Justice League Unlimited, you get the chance to actually meet Big Barda and Mr. Miracle and all of these kind of connected to the New Gods and or the Apocalypse stuff. That what's fun? You wouldn't actually have ever met them because they're a separate part of the DC universe, and then we got to have them with the Justice League and with the main DC universe. I enjoyed that a lot.
Okay, I agree with you. Now, I'm pretty sure you know this. I'm pretty sure everybody here in this group chat should know that when the Batman animated series came out, it's pretty much the continuation to Justice League Unlimited. If that makes sense.
Justice League Unlimited came after Batman the Animated Series. It was.
Yes. But there's how can I say this? They're in the same universe.
Yes.
So it's pretty much
the
that.
episode with Terry that ends that like brings it all
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I mean, even if it wasn't the Justice League, Static Shock. Static Shock was another one. Static Shock. Batman. Everybody was in that same universe. Now, when did I find out that all these, how the animated series and the Justice League came about? Because obviously I was watching YouTube videos one time. Yeah, no, I mean, even then they had the same voice actors. They had the same voice actors too. So again, me growing up watching all that was amazing. You know, okay, here's the thing too. Before you had Justice League Unlimited, before you had Superman the animated series, Batman the animated series first introduced a cartoon version of Jonah Hex, Zatanna,
Created
what
Harley Quinn.
yes, Harley Quinn, the Demon Etrigan from
Jason
the New
Blood.
Adventures, Jason Blood, yes. What else? I think those are the ones I can. And you got the little adaptations too, like when they did that one episode when the kids started like saying their versions of the story of Batman.
Oh yeah.
You had the Dark Knight Returns version in
They
there,
did with Batman Year One with the kids, right?
something like that. Yeah, you had the Batman Dark Knight Returns in the new adventures, but from their point of view, from the kids' point of view. So you saw a lot of different things come about, and then Superman animated series.
I like the Superman Adventure series.
Okay, Superman Adventure series. You had the Flash. You had Green Lantern. You had Sinestro. You had them. You had Lobo. You had the New Gods. You had, the stuff that the villains that obviously you're probably gonna expect to see in a TV show. But those characters, oh wow, the Flash is in here too. Oh wow.
Yeah, well, Justice League Unlimited was great in another way. Sort of what we're talking about was a lot of times, A, you only have so much money, especially if you're a kid or a teenager, and B, you used to only have whatever your local comic book shop or whatever had. So the idea that there's all of these characters, like all of the New Gods, and then you've got all the Vertigo characters, which are all rated R. But I mean, if you weren't reading those books, you didn't know they existed. There were crossovers here and there, but a lot of characters, if you just read the main titles, there were all these characters you never knew about. That in the animated series, they were able to find ways to bring them all together a lot more and give you a few more. I mean,
that's totally true.
Series weren't nearly as popular before they ended up in Justice League Unlimited, and then later you got the animated movie where that version of Supergirl comes and is training on Themyscira and then gets sucked in by the Furies. But I mean, you didn't actually see the Furies or Granny Goodness that much in the comics, and then you had them in the animated series, and then something was like, oh my god, these characters are so interesting, we can play with them a lot, we can use them a lot more. I really found that interesting. And I do also find it interesting how they've been trying to pull more and more of the Vertigo comics, of the rated R, of the darker side of DC into different things like Constantine, like Swamp Thing. Did a horrible job in the movie with Enchantress. But I mean, those characters that if you didn't know there were rated R DC books, you didn't even know these characters existed at all.
Yeah. Or you didn't want to give them the time of day.
Yeah.
Like me. I didn't want to give Constantine or Sandman or whatever or Swamp Thing the time of day. But how did it get my attention? I saw the preview, got my attention. I'll try it out. Hooked on it since.
I enjoyed the Batman Brave and the Bold series.
That was good. That's another one. That's another example. Yeah.
Different take on Batman, but it gave us
you still got the heroes that you didn't see. Yeah.
Commandy. We got our first got our first Commandy on TV, which is like fantastic. I don't know if they brought in Space Cabbie. That was an oversight. That was a miss if they didn't bring in Space Cabbie. We're like this.
There's one episode where he's in it.
Is he? Okay.
Yes, he's in Justice League Unlimited. I'm 98% sure.
All right, I will have to do a rewatch. I typically, what I'll do is I'll cycle through the Batman, Superman, and so forth. I'll like every 5 or so years.
Okay.
I'll put them on and cycle through.
Okay, here's another one that brought. Okay, we're just talking about animated series right now, right? Okay, another one that is a good example is. God dang, I just had it on top of my head. Oh my god, it was just on the tip of my tongue. It really was. God dang it!
It'll come back.
It will come back. Teen Titans.
Oh yeah, yeah. The first one or the Go.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the original series, that was a perfect example too. You saw Kid Flash, you saw their version of Nightwing, you saw, Red X. The list goes on. Deathstroke, well, Slade Wilson.
Yep.
Because they weren't allowed to say that. You saw him. That's another perfect example. You saw obscure characters or characters you didn't think you see, and see, you can play with a lot more of the animated series than you can with live action stuff. What else was another
Justice
good?
League Action. I looked it up. It was Justice League Action, and he's also has a miscellaneous appearance in Justice League Unlimited 18.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I'll have to
there you go. You can find him easy now.
Hunt it down.
And I think those, as of right now, those are the only shows that I animated wise that you saw. Oh, then also too, you got the older DC animated movies.
Oh yeah, DC animated movies to me personally are much better than anything live action. It feels much more like the comics.
Okay, like Superman Doomsday. That's the one that kicked off everything.
Yep.
Batman, Gotham Knight, Justice League Doom.
Yep.
The New Frontier. See, those movies from that time frame, those are great. Like, I haven't seen the New Frontier in a while, but it just gives you that rugged edge that in the 40s, 50s, this is how things were back then,
So we talked about Batman a few times. Is there a particular run of Batman the comic that's your favorite particular run?
Right. Okay. Like, just like that one set, or you talking about like a few sets?
Whether it be a creative team or it be a huge story arc or it be a time period, when it comes to like if you could read it again for the first time, what run on Batman would you go after?
I would go for the run before the New 52.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm talking about my middle school time frame. Okay. Those years.
And that was the Grant Morrison run?
There was a few. Grant Morrison, you had a few. You had a few of your popular writers.
Yeah,
but again back then,
detective and
there you had your detective comics. I mean, I would read those again. If I had the opportunity, I would read those again before the 52.
Nice.
But the only thing 52 related that I actually read was the Batman New 52. It was good too. I liked it. I liked how Greg Capullo did everything. I liked who was that, Scott Snyder?
Scott Snyder, yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. But did I keep up? I kept on collecting the books, but eventually I just stopped reading it because it just didn't. It was it was just the writing. After a while, it just kind of got stale.
The new 52 Justice League. I swear, by the 5th issue of the Justice League, it was just like I'm like, they're still in this fight in this rubble.
Yeah,
this has been 5 months. 5 months they're standing in this rubble still. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. For me the highlight of the New 52 was the Keith Giffen OMAC. That scratched an itch for me. Love that. I've heard some good things about the Hawkman. Hawkman, the New 52. I haven't tried it.
I've heard good things, a variety of titles from that time frame. Would anybody say it was good or bad now? I don't know. I'm just telling you what I read. Like constantly read was Batman.
Yeah.
And Detective.
I had Justice League and Nightwing for the first.
Okay,
like,
Nightwing. Okay, Nightwing. I read Nightwing too.
Yeah, the New 52 Nightwing. That's where they had the Court of Owls one, right? The
Yes.
opening. Yeah. The first few. Yep. Actually, my dad actually got me the subscriptions for the first year for my birthday that year.
Nice.
I have a friend who loves New 52, but I'm convinced the only reason he actually defends it so much is he's obsessed with Super Wonder as a ship. And that's one of the only series that gave them a serious ship together. But
what I recall about the new 52 was just about every third title. The premise was there's a clandestine rogue intelligence agency
yeah,
that's doing something. Like that was I'm like, how many rogue intelligence agencies are there? It was the same. It was this, that group of writers. They were all
there were more rogue intelligence agencies than countries exist in the world.
Pretty much.
That was fun. Yes, I'll agree with that.
On the Marvel side, what were some fond runs or characters on the Marvel side where you connected with?
One of them was, let's see here. Let's see. One of them was a Punisher series back in 2008.
Okay.
It was a limited run, but it was a good story arc.
Was it the Max? One of the Max titles?
No, Dark Region. Dark Region.
Okay.
Yeah, Dark Region Punisher at that time. But high school, I liked reading the X-Men Curse of the Mutants. And another character you didn't see often pop out was Blade. I love Blade. So I read it and it was a good story arc. I started into some of them was some of the Spider-Man issues and stuff. And it just pretty much back then, whatever piqued my interest. So it wasn't really a big handful. Oh, Gambit. Gambit was one of them too. I loved the 12-issue series they did with Gambit.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know this isn't DC or Marvel related, but the one I did really I read back then, but I read it again a few months back was The Crow.
Okay.
The Crow was because obviously I saw the movie, but again, I didn't have a lot of money to buy the first 4 issues because they were expensive. They still are.
Yes.
But what did I do? I found the graphic novel, paid $20 for it, still have it to this day, got it autographed.
Nice.
And I have another one. I reread that book a few months ago, and you don't see that type of writing anymore. I mean, you do, but you got to make sure they do it right.
There's a lack of creativity to some degree in the modern comic sphere in my personal opinion. But we had a question.
Yep. Devastator wants to know what's currently a hot seller right now. Besides the keys that you've mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
what are people asking about? What are people looking for? What do you get in? And next thing you know,
right now, I'm just gonna say it like this: rather it be hot or cold,
mm-hmm.
or getting lukewarm, it's the matter of what that individual is willing to spend. Okay, so right now, I can say is Deadpool, anything Deadpool, anything Wolverine. Okay, do you have an X amount of dollars to buy the first appearances? Maybe not. But I have enough money to get a trade paperback or a reprint of their first issues, of their first appearances. Right now, anything Marvel, and right now, everybody's seen the new movie, right? Deadpool and Wolverine?
Not yet.
I haven't seen it yet, but I
on the
don't
to-do
mind
list.
spoilers.
Okay. Okay. So let me put it to you this way. From that movie, if you saw spoilers or anything, those books are getting hot. This is just an example. Those books are getting hot right now, but eventually it's going to cool down. But the ones that are getting hot, those are key issues. So it's going to hold its ground.
All right.
Price wise, what it's going to be in the next week or two, I don't know. It could drop back down to $50 for all I know, or it can go up more. I don't know. You get what I mean?
Absolutely. Are you? Jimbo wants to know: Are you carrying or are you reading the Savage Sword of Conan from Titan? So they're doing a black and white version of Savage Sword with new material. Are you carrying those? Or are you seeing those come in?
Honestly, the only thing I see coming in are a lot of the old Conan books from Marvel. That's it. I don't see anything past that. But are they the key Conan stuff? Not really. I see a lot of the magazine ones, the Savage Sword of Conan,
Oh yeah.
but amazingly, some of those don't go for much. Maybe some of the early ones, but I don't get a lot of Conan.
I think the Savage Swords have fallen in price because finally there's good omnibus collections. So I think some people got the omnibuses and they flooded the market with their copies.
Well, I think the one thing with Conan over the years, he started like she said, it was a book. It was just a book.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, they made it into a comic book, and then after a while, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger portray Conan the Barbarian, and after that, you had Jason Momoa, do it. Do I ever think they're going to have a cartoon version of him? I don't know, or another movie.
There was a cartoon. There was a cartoon version of Conan, and I think it went one season. It was pretty rough.
It was worse than Super Friends.
Oh.
It really was.
Was it Filmation?
I don't remember who did it. Probably it was worse than Super Friends. Probably Filmation. Sorry, that was me. But
the thing, like not obscure character. I'm not saying he's an obscure character. He has the right to be, in the main 10.
When they made that, they didn't believe that you could make. I bless heavy metal every day for proving to the world that you can make rated R adult animation. And because when that Conan cartoon came out, they were making it for freaking little kids. Conan for little kids is never going to be very good, in my personal opinion.
And back then they wanted it. Obviously, the only reason why they did those animated shows back then because they wanted toy sales. You like it? Oh, hey, we got an action figure. We got the accessories. We got the.
He-Man was designed specifically to sell toys. He-Man was designed to sell toys. And yet you got, I'm not saying they're the most intellectual or highbrow episodes, but you got good storylines. You got good messaging. I love classic He-Man. I don't give a shit that he was originally created to sell toys.
True story. I have a true story for you. Okay. You aware that He-Man started out as Conan toys? Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's why he got the furry underwear.
Okay, what if this is the same topic? Maybe this is the same story me and you have. I've heard about that, and I've read about it. That if you wanted to get that particular action figure of Conan, but realistically it was He-Man or whatever, you had to get the Wonder Bread. You had to get the Wonder Bread loaves in order to do a mail away for it. So they called that particular figure the Wonder Bread He-Man or something.
Okay.
Fun.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the same version you heard, but
my understanding was that the Hasbro or whoever approached the movie studio and said, what movies are coming out? And they said, we're going to do Conan. And they said, well, give us some character designs. And they started making the molds and they started building out the characters. And they're like, it's going to be basically Conan, right? And then they saw a screening of the movie and it was like, oh my God, we can't sell this to kids.
These don't look anything like Arnold.
so they said, they backed out of that deal. And then they said,
back then back then it was all about toy sales, selling to kids. You didn't think that this version of Conan that you're bringing into a movie with the top actor Arnold Schwarzenegger, was going to be that violent. But again, did these people read the comic books? Did they read the books? No, they didn't. That's why they stepped away. You know, there wasn't like a big old like now, like for us, like, hey, I want to buy that Conan the Barbarian NECA toy.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like that back then. It was all about kids, money, and kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was, and then too, the toys like GI Joe, for example, that was another one created to sell toys. So what happens? They made the big old ship of GI for
The flag. No, not the flag.
I can't remember, but
I know this.
you get what I mean.
Mhm.
They did it with Star Wars. They did it with a lot of stuff.
But at the same time, you got He-Man designed for toys, and then the
Yes.
spin-offs with She-Ra and all that designed for toys. You've got GI Joe designed for toys. You've got TMNT to a large degree designed for toys, and yet all of these things still had good storylines. They had positive messaging. They were good for kids to watch.
Yeah.
Not to go off on a tangent, but like I have a 9-year-old next door neighbor, and the shit she watches, I'm horrified by this crap. Like, I don't care if it means you're selling toys or not. Just bring back characters that can be good role models and can teach good lessons and still be fun.
You could lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they just don't make the cartoons like they used to back in my time.
In any of our times.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me put it to you this way. My dad growing up, when they did the Shazam live action show, from the 70s or 80s or something. My dad told me, I guess when that first episode or something that was going to come out, my dad skipped Sunday school or whatever, or he played hooky. My grandma didn't know about it. What did he do? He went to his house or one of his friends' houses, and they all gathered up to watch that show. But I said, hey, well, how was it back then? He said, oh, that was great. Well, what about it now? He just shook his head. But back then, they knew, not what they knew, but the imagination was different from what it is now.
And people's expectations, right?
Yeah.
In terms of what special effects, what was cutting edge special effects for television and all that, completely different.
Yeah, they didn't have the technology we have now. What they have, if they had it back then, probably be ahead of its time.
So how often are you finding and flipping and selling like posters and promo material, things like that? Is that coming through your shop at all?
Like I said, it really just depends on who's has what in their personal in their possession. It could be baseball cards, it can be basketball cards, it can be.
Oh, he's muted.
You're back. I think you're back now.
Looks like give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Christy, thank you so much for having me on your show. I had a good time.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, I had a good time too. I just wanted to show everybody I got Jupiter.
Look at that.
I haven't read it yet. Isn't that fantastic?
You're in for a treat. And my friend Aaron watched the episode and he said it was a good show. So I'll take that as a win.
Okay, good.
But back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
What comes up to it could be anything. I can't just say it's a particular item. It could be something from World War II for all I know.
Nice.
Actually, as a matter of fact, hold on.
You got something?
Yes, I do.
All right, folks, this was not planned. We've got no idea what he's going to grab. Could be an Action Comics 1. It could be a Soviet version of Captain America for all we know. We've got no idea. Let's hope it's something that's not going to get us knocked off of YouTube. He did say World War II. We shall see. Well, here he goes. What is that?
It's a silk
Wild.
flag from
Yeah.
Okinawa, I think.
Oh wow.
Well,
And
that's
and
very
the late
pretty.
and the lady who we went to a house. She
Mhm.
had books, and all of a sudden she said they had this. This belonged to her dad.
Mhm.
It actually has this in it. It was folded in a book. Let me see here. She had the newspaper clippings and everything.
Wow.
It had this in it.
I mean, I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna.
Secret
I'm
Order
gonna
of the
big in.
Golden Dragon.
So let me make you big. Hold on.
Embiggen Armando.
There we go. Wow. Secret Order of the Golden Dragon.
Oh,
Can't read any a little bit.
Wow.
is that a
but
secret
that's still pretty cool.
society?
See, stuff like this. You don't
Yeah.
see. This is stuff like this I like coming across of, even if it's
Yeah.
comic books or not. This is cool stuff.
Well, the first rule of Golden Dragon Club is you don't talk about Golden Dragon Club. But I think it's fantastic that you have that.
And it came with the newspaper. Whatever from that time frame.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah. See.
I love old newspapers.
Yeah. See, I just don't see. I don't come across books, just
Mhm.
books and toys. I come across stuff like this sometimes.
Wow.
And this is
Cool.
amazing. That silk and all that stuff. I got to get it framed though.
So when you were younger, did you watch like the Antiques Roadshow or Pawn
Not
Stars?
Pawn Stars, yes. Comic Book Men, yes. Antiques Roadshow, not really.
Okay.
Now, do you
It-
negotiate like the guy in Pawn Stars? Like, oh, all I can
Every-
give you is this.
Everybody has their own way of negotiating. Everybody.
Uh-huh.
The thing is, I try not to be a jerk about it.
You
I
know,
get
hey,
really-
do you have any stories of somebody wanting like way more than what it was worth and expecting it? Because that's
All the
basically
time.
what Pawn Stars
all the
is.
time.
Yeah.
All the time. Some people, again, when you look up stuff, when you don't know what to look up, you're gonna see something misleading. Google's the worst thing to do. They don't know eBay. They don't know these comic book apps. They don't know.
Mhm.
They just don't know. As I've had, a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's worth this much." No, it ain't. I saw this. That's not no. People can ask for anything, anything. You can ask for $1 million. It ain't worth $1 million. Or here's another thing. It can be, let's just say, a wizard magazine. No, I do not have it around. It was a popular Jim Lee cover. It was still in the bag and everything. I could have got that book for $5, or if not 10 on eBay. But it was right in front of me. What did I say to the lady? Look, that's the same lady where I got that flag from.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So, but prior to that, there were some books in there. She said, "No, I want $200." No, that's not going to happen. There's nothing here that's worth $200. Oh, but what there's,
Mhm.
long story short, we ended up coming back with a few things. That's it, because there was a Spawn #1 in there. There was, you know what? It was Spawn #1 and a first appearance and Spider-Man 2099 #1 and the Wizard magazine. The Wizard magazine, I said, look, I'll give you $20 for this magazine. I'll give you $20 for it right now. She said, okay, sure, out of my own pocket.
Mhm.
Here. So to me, it was worth $20.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? If it's
Yep.
something you like, you're gonna
Yep.
pay for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever walked into your shop and saw a comic book like up on the wall or behind glass or whatever, and like said to you, "That belongs in a museum"?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've heard it all. There was last year. There was a thing for an art museum, for the history museum here in town.
Mhm.
I got invited to be a part of the. I guess you can be a vendor. It wasn't really all that for us, but it was pretty full. It was more for the kids. What did I have? And I asked, "Do y'all need something to display?" They said, "Do you have anything that's significant or that happened significantly?"
Mhm.
And I said, "Yeah, I do. I have and I still had the little tags that they had, and it was to me the titles that I'm going to say was that that just a few of those should be displayed in a museum so kids can see it.
Mhm.
The little ones, like, okay, like Kiss, the Marvel Super Special.
Oh yeah.
hmm
Yeah, I have that graded. I think it's, you know what? I think I have it right here. Hold on.
Okay.
We actually have a comic book museum in San Diego.
Nice.
It's in Balboa Park, and every year when Comic-Con comes up, they do a big special exhibit. That was where I was like, it's not an event, it's an exhibit.
Look at that.
Sorry,
Oh,
I'm
look
sorry.
at that. That's cool.
It's a Comic-Con museum, not a comic book museum.
Okay.
See, this
Yeah, I'll make you big. Hold on. There we go. There it is.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I know the glare, but it's graded at a 9.4.
Nice.
Nice.
So this was one of the books that was displayed in the case at the museum. Okay.
Yeah, that's impressive for something that was on this on like a magazine rack, 40 some years ago. That's pretty amazing that it's a 9.4.
Yeah.
And this one?
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh shit.
Ninja
Back when the turtles were a little bit more hard edged.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's really funny for anyone who grew up with the late 80s, early
Oh, there
90s
you go.
turtles to see what the turtles were originally like when they were just in comic form.
Right.
Very cool. Very cool.
Nice. Two Boy Scouts wearing red and blue beating the shit out of each other. What could be better than that?
Both work for newspapers. Oh, they're oh yeah, nice. That's that's the Neil Adams Ra's al Ghul story. That is
Yeah,
fantastic.
this is an early reprint of
Yeah.
okay. And I have it, but it's not here at it's not here at the house, it's here at my grandma's and my aunt's
Mhm.
house. Is the Superman versus Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful book. Beautiful book.
So all that, I mean, I was actually pretty proud to see those, in there. That actually, like, man, that was one of my things. That was like, I hope one day my books or some of them could be displayed in a museum, and it did.
That's
Nice.
pretty cool.
But
Cool.
the only reason why I picked those because there was something significant that happened in those issues,
Mhm.
Mhm.
like the Kiss one. You got all 4 original band members' blood in the ink. You got an early reprint of First Appearance of Ra's al Ghul. First appearance of Casey Jones, another popular character.
So
Mhm.
wait. You're saying if I have that Kiss Treasury and I've got CRISPR, I could clone Gene Simmons.
Well,
It's not CRISPR that's
you
gonna let
can.
you do that.
You can see all the little tags that they gave me for the books.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, you see. I mean, oh, here it is, right here. Obviously, I don't have the book here, but if I did, I show it to you.
Nice.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Also, since you were showing us some ones that already were, do you have a favorite crossover? Do you have a favorite, whether it's DC Marvel crossover or DC and pop culture, like the Muhammad Ali one, or Marvel and pop culture? Like, do you have any specific crossover that you really love?
That, like honestly, I want it. Yes, I do, but it's the ones that have the significance to it.
Got it.
Like okay, like Superman versus Spider-Man.
Mhm.
How I was always curious. How did Spider-Man go against Superman?
Mm-hmm.
I had to read the story. I read the story. Doc Ock and Lex Luthor, they invented a little ray gun that that I guess put Superman's powers at not all full 100%.
Mhm.
So for a good while, Spider-Man had the upper hand on him, and then before you know it, his power started to come back, full throttle and everything. Spider-Man throws a punch at his chest, and he's all like that. Yeah. So see, that's how I wanted to know. So I actually had to read that book. Well, actually, I got it right there. But yes, I had to read it. I could have found a treasure. I could have found something, but might as well read it. I've actually bought that at Half Price Books for $20.
Half Price Books is where you're supposed to go to get the comic.
It is a well kept secret. It is. So, in my mind, the best intercompany crossover was Galactus versus Darkseid. It was by John Byrne.
Oh,
and
shit. I don't
it's
think
a
I
good.
didn't know that book. I want that book now.
It's a good story. So here's the thing. It's a legit good story, right? Because you've got Galactus you got Darkseid the Tactician against Galactus the Force of Nature, right?
Wait, is
But
Galactus trying to eat Apocalypse?
of course, yeah. But what's great about it is that first off, it's John Byrne, who has got an affinity for both casts of characters. But what's great about it is that what happens is that I think it was Metron. He in confronting or trying to stop the Silver Surfer, he actually arouses the memories of Zenla, and so the way that story technically takes place before Fantastic Four 48. So theoretically, it was going to Apocalypse, confronting the new God's technology that allowed the Silver Surfer to stop being an automaton and begin to have waking up the memories, firing the synapses to realize at one point he was a real man. So then he can have empathy with Earth. So it's a great book, and it's not like a cash grab, and it actually does things that fit into the background lore. So I highly recommend it. Galactus versus Darkseid by John.
Okay,
it's called The Hunger. Yep.
Okay, talk about crossovers and everything. If somehow I see, here's another good thing too. If you don't have time to read the stories, what do you got? What's the last option? Go to YouTube. There's people there exactly explaining what goes on. Like it could be a 3-hour thing. It'll show you page by page, panel by panel. They're actually talking about the story. And there's a few stories where I was like, oh, hey, that's not bad. It's pretty good. You know, so that's another thing. Is somehow I don't think I would have a chance to read it. But
Yeah,
you know
kind of
what?
like,
All of a sudden, I
Michael
just see a video on YouTube, you know, about that particular run. Like the example, like Old Man Logan. I read it. And just recently I was thinking about it, but yet I don't want to dig through my stuff and just, you know. So what happened? I just found a video out of nowhere. Oh, the complete story of Old Man Logan. 2-3 hours long. Or sometimes they're an hour long. And then the Batman versus Predator. I found that video. Wolverine versus Predator. Found that video. So you even without reading it, you can still get the gesture of it. You know? So that's pretty cool.
Christy, do you have a crossover you love?
No.
You know what I do have?
I'll give you all a crossover, a somewhat obscure crossover. It was really fun and really cool. Magdalena and Vampirella. That was fun.
Interesting.
You know what? Okay, you know what's funny? A lot of those crossovers from the 90s, like with those certain titles, like from Top Cow and all that, I mean, I haven't read them, but there were some interesting crossovers.
Oh yeah, I was a huge Top Cow fan when I was in high school.
Most goodness, of my how old are you?
was all coming out of Top Cow or Dark Horse.
So how old are you is the question.
I'm 40.
Oh, you're not that. You're okay. You're good.
But I'm 10 years older than you, so the stuff that you were seeing as a little kid, I was seeing as a tween, I guess is the phrase.
As a tween. I've been doing this since I was a baby. I'll put it like that. So I have almost 30 years of experience, okay? Yeah. And you know, I'm not saying I read every crossover, but I have the stuff that made it popular to this day. Like the Kiss one, the Muhammad Ali one, Superman, Spider-Man, you know, the Casey Jones. You know what I do have, and I do not. Where do I have it at? I don't think it's. Man, I don't think it's with me. Is it? Oh, it is. It's inside my other. See, I have some stuff that y'all probably hadn't even seen in years, or probably never saw. I have the movie adaptation of RoboCop, the first one, the magazine-sized one. Y'all are familiar with that one, right?
Who did the art for that?
I have no idea. I do not know. All I know is it's beautiful. The whole entire book is beautiful. You know how much I paid for that thing? 10 years ago? $1.
$1?
Whoa, at half price books?
Really?
No, it was at a bookstore. Now I buy that for $1.
That's right.
I buy that for $1. See, those are some movies that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what too? The other thing too, a lot of people, like I brought up horror comic books. I those are just at a level to where it's just, even if it's not hero related,
Mhm.
you know, you got the other genre, which is horror.
Mhm.
If I get horror comic books, I'm probably better off finding it in a collection than me actually buying it online, because I personally, and then too, depending on who the person you're talking to, dealer to dealer,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna give you what you're asking for. I'm not gonna make no money.
Yeah.
So this is what I think is fair. And here's the other thing too. Some people, to this day, I don't know why, some people just want to do straight up trades. Straight up trades. I'm like, you want something that I have, an action figure? Yeah, you're not gonna get that figure from me. Oh well, no, I swear to you, I've had a few encounters like that. Like one of them before my uncle and my grandfather passed, they got me these two figures,
Mhm.
Batman figures. Okay, this person had something that I wanted. He just liked those figures and he wanted them, and
Mhm.
he was determined to leave with them. It's like, I'm not trading or selling those. Get that out
Yeah.
of your head. I'm not. Oh,
Your
then I'm
business.
just. I'm just.
Everyone has something that everyone has things that they love that they're not going to let go of. I mean,
I
that's just
mean,
how it is.
yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. I was offering him money.
Mhm.
I offered him. I offered him. Let's just say $100. I forgot what
Mhm.
the item was. I offered him $100. Nah, no. I'm just gonna do the trades. Like, really?
Some people like barter systems. I don't know.
I mean, if I barter with you with money, you can go buy something with it.
Barter by definition doesn't have money.
But the thing is, there's some stuff that I traded personally, but stuff like that has significant value to me, I'm not. No, does
No.
no. If I have money, if I'm offering you this much, probably more than what it's going to be worth, or it's only worth that much to me, here. Sometimes they go for it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just a big, big hassle. It is. That's another thing I'm pretty sure y'all deal with, or y'all don't, but I deal with that shit. You know, it's nothing new.
No.
I've been doing it for so long. It's nothing new to me. Nothing. I've heard
My
it
sister's
all.
in publishing, so she's probably dealt with even more shit than the rest of us.
Yeah.
I've, I've,
But we don't
I've.
really barter. I was offered, they asked if somebody asked me if they could buy the magazine with gold, and I'm like, I don't know how we would do that. I have no, I don't think so. I mean, I would if I knew how to do it. I'd take gold, but
but
I
okay,
was like, I
okay.
just don't. I can't figure it out.
Funny. Okay, funny story. I like collecting silver. Okay,
Okay.
I was at a convention.
Okay.
Okay, I had a lot of my, some silver coins that were half, and a lot of the half dollars. Some were
Mhm.
silver, some were Morgan silver dollars. I'm not gonna lie. That back in February, that's when I had them. Back in February, those things really saved my ass, because y'all familiar with Dragon Ball Z, right?
Mhm.
Okay, the voice actor Goku was there. Okay, I had a comic book and I wanted to take a picture with him. And I said to the lady, "Look, I have these old silver coins. Would y'all take them as payment?" She said, "Why not? I'm handling the money, but let me go ask." Okay, he said yes, but do you know what they're worth? I said, "Well, I think that particular coin you got in your hand is worth probably a little bit more, than what he's asking for his autograph prices." She said, "Look, I'll do 2 autographs for this coin, and throw in another coin, I'll get, a picture."
Mhm.
Okay, sure. These were like, there were half dollars. There were some that were, no, actually no, they were dollar coins. They were, God dang it, they were from 1922.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, silver, 90% silver, mind you.
Mhm.
So she scanned one of them. She said, "Oh, okay, well this is like 60, so I can get you 2 autographs for this one." Really? Yeah, sure. Okay. That saved my ass. I'll tell you that right now. With a few other people there, and some of them took it, some of them didn't. And then too, hey, here's a few coins. That's it. I like collecting half dollars, especially if they're silver. But
Makes sense.
Yeah, but see, one of the handlers there, and I said, "Hey, I got these old silver coins. This and that. What? Like, what do you mean?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What you mean? Don't act stupid. Like, come on. Like, really? No, like, really." One of them was like, "Hey, I got these old silver coins. This and that." One of them was like, looked at me. "What do you mean silver coins?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Don't
no,
act
I think I
stupid."
Not in
do.
New
No,
Hampshire.
I don't think it's acting. I
No,
really
they
think
don't
there's
know.
plenty of
Yeah,
people
some people they
that
really don't
realize
understand that.
what precious metal is.
Yep.
You know, and that it's more valuable than fiat currency. Yeah.
Like I said, some of them took it. You know what? Hold on. I think I got the book here.
Well, in New Hampshire will actually take. They have these little bits of silver that you can buy in a strip, and you can break off little pieces of them that are even. And in New Hampshire, you can use them as currency.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
You see, I think. Let's see here. I only had to pay for 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The other 3 I got it, silver.
Nice.
Nice.
See, Armando, I see Jesse is back. I've got a show I've got to get ready for in like 15 minutes. It was fantastic to meet you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for. So I'm gonna drop. The show is gonna keep going, but thanks. It was nice to meet you. And thanks.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sharing
no,
some of your,
man.
stories.
It's nice to meet you too, man. I'm down to do more appearances here. Yeah, I like
yeah, Bubba.
I like this. I like the aura here. I like it. I love it.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Jason, brother,
Good to
tell
see you
everybody
back.
to find you.
Have a good night,
my
Jason.
friend.
All right, take care, everybody.
All right, guys. Well, good. Y'all had fun, I assume. While I was gone, everybody seemed like the conversation was
man!
going
When you were
good.
gone, these 2 girls were just running after me. Bad.
Oh, they will.
Exactly. I could not keep my digital hands off him.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Christy likes to have a few in the evening, so it normally kind of starts as the later the evening goes. That's normally how things. Oh, that's right. It's all been water tonight. Cheers. I feel you on that one.
Yep.
But yeah,
going.
the silver coins really saved me that day. They really did. But yeah, some people don't know. I mean, and then one of the voice actors I said, "Hey, I got these. Oh, well, I don't know what the silver market is, this and that." And I was like, "Man, whatever." He was acting like a smartass to me too. And you know what I said? You know what I told him just to make me laugh too? I said, "Hey, well, you know what, too, man? I like those Tom Cruise glasses you got on there, the Top Gun glasses."
Oh, did he have some aviators on?
Yes, he had the aviators on the whole time. The whole time he had the aviators on. I was like, you know what? You're gonna be a smartass with me? Okay, I'm gonna say something. And I did. He looked at me, and the expression he had was just priceless. It was so hilarious.
I'm sorry, if someone looks at me and says, well, I'd be willing to take it, but I don't know what the silver market is. It's like I look at them and go, "You have a smart computer in your freaking pocket."
That's exactly what I thought.
The amount of times someone's like, "Well, I just don't know what such and such is." I'm like, the phone in your pocket has more technology and more reach than we had when we went to the moon. You can figure it out.
Oh yeah. You have literally access to unlimited information in your pocket, and that's just it's so dumb when people say stuff like that. It's an absolute mark off. Well, boys and girls, we've been going for about 3 hours, and we do have some memes we need to get to.
I got to figure out how to use Discord because I can't put any of my memes in anymore since you don't do Gilded.
Oh yeah, well it's because of everything that went down with Gilded. But if you have any questions about Discord, if you have any questions about Discord, ask Lavistro. He's the best person in the world about all that kind of stuff. Like he knows that shit like backwards and forwards. Like I don't know squat about Discord. And he was like, well, if you just ask somebody, they'd help you set it up. And I was like, Lavistro, will you help set up my Discord? And he just went wild. He just went nuts. And like we got bots and we got all kinds of categories. And like I don't even know what half that shit is or what it does. So yeah, that's just how it works. That's just how it works. So we're gonna do some memes real quick, boys and girls. Now I'm gonna let these beautiful and fabulous folks tell you where they can find you at, and then we're gonna wrap up because we do have another stream to get to as well. Alec Baldwin's Fingers having a wonderful stream this evening that we got to get back over to. So there you go, fat stack of them.
Fun.
Hell yeah. I'm a big, I got a bag. I'm the same way. I love silver coins and all of that kind of stuff. I've got a nice little bag of those, boys and girls. And you know what else? We got a nice bag of this evening, memes. Oh, shout out to the Legion of Memers.
right. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it right now. It was fun. Thank you for having me. I'm available whenever you need me to come back.
Dude, tell everybody where they can find you before you get out of here, Armando. What do you got? What do you got?
Okay.
Where can they find your comic shop and all that kind of fun stuff? I can find you on Facebook. Where else? Anywhere else? What's up?
Okay. Facebook, Instagram, Google. When you look up your local LCS. And if you're familiar with the Corpus Christi area or Flower Bluff, you live in the Bluff.
Oh yeah.
I'm located in the Corpus Christi Trade Center. Okay.
Oh yeah. Thank you,
All right.
Armando. We'll definitely have you back, buddy. Appreciate all the insight, Bubba.
Yeah,
Thanks,
man. Yeah. Give me a text anytime or after this or whatever. I'm down to do any other appearances with you.
Hell yeah, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so very
Yes, sir.
much, buddy. Have a good night,
All right,
man.
man. Thank you.
There we go. There we go. Armando, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait, I got to hit the button so everybody can hear it. Oh, that's still not working. Yes. All right. And all right, let's get through some of our memes, boys and girls. Hopefully I don't miss any. This thing kind of updated. Let's see what we got. I'm trying to see which were the ones that I remember from last week. Because what was last Wednesday's date? I don't even remember.
Dude, it's so crazy just seeing you
First.
scroll through. I recognize George Alexopoulos.
Oh yeah,
G-Prime.
George's stuff is great. Yep, G Prime. Yeah, I love it. Holy cow! All right, we're just gonna start at the first because that was Thursday. So there you go. We're gonna start here. That one's too damn small, Madhouse. My girlfriend didn't want me to adopt Stomp from the shelter because of his abnormally large feet. I paid no mind, and now he has a happy home to live in. Oh,
And his name's
Those
Stomp.
are really big feet, though, for a cat.
big fucking feet, man. Those are big fucking feet. I love it. The older I get, the more I regret all the people I've lost over the years. Maybe being a trail guide wasn't such a great idea after all. Fucking love that. Oh, that is great. You wonder why Gen Xers are always mad? It's because we had to replace our record collections with a tape collection that was then replaced with a CD collection, then replaced with MP3s, and now we need a subscription to listen to music.
That's very true.
Yep. You know, I'll add to that. You got rid of all of your records and CDs, and now people will pay you money for them.
Oh yeah, good money.
Yeah, you got
Maybe
you got
not
rid of,
CDs.
you got rid of your records and CDs, and now they could have
Absolutely. Friendship isn't about who you know them the longest. It's about who walked into your life and said, "I'm here for you," and proved it. Oh, so very true. I have that chat. I have a chat like that. Yeah, there you go. Paris 2024. If she dies, she dies. Yeah. Shout out to the boxing Olympics. Reject modernity, embrace tradition. Hey, there you go. Amen to that one. Therapist. And what do we say when life disappoints us? Called it. Nope. The chicken you're eating had families, you murderer. That's why I ordered a family bucket meal. No one gets left behind. I was looking for a new guard dog, maybe a Doberman, German Shepherd, or a Rottweiler or a Pit Bull. Then I found this Border Collie. Yeah. That's
like
what
Lobo the dog.
Dude, yeah, it's like Lobo the dog, or it's like literally the Punisher skull is kind of what I thought at first too. Yeah,
no,
Lobo's
skull too, absolutely.
I would name him Lobo. That is awesome. I want one. For the last 28 years, all you've done is find mistakes in anything I say. 29 years. Oh, damn.
The puns. The puns.
If it's a requirement for vehicles to be roadworthy, then why isn't it a requirement for the roads to be vehicle worthy? Yeah, no shit.
Seriously.
There are no chicks with dicks, only guys with tits. Valid point. Chicks with dicks just rhymes better. Go away or shall taunt you a second time.
Go away or I will taunt you a second time.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's go see if the Halloween stuff is here yet. Why are these mean? Why are they mean to kids? Horrible. Back to school. Oh, man. Dated pop culture reference is what it says on his shirt. I love that. She said, I wanted a spice rack for kitchen. I said, well, if that's what you want, what you really, really want.
Oh, more.
Griffin.
I did not know the girl had extra figures, though.
Oh yeah, they did. Living in a Van Gogh down by the river. I love that. That is great. In 2024, we'll have flying cars. 2024, do not eat this wrapper.
That's really sad.
Yes, and of course, George X Office G Prime. Oh, who's next? Vander, Mike Tyson.
Yep. Mike Tyson, he did challenge that person to a fight.
Did he really? That's
Yep.
awesome. That's awesome. The Olympics are lost. I wish I could fix the government. It is done. Poof. A gun? My lawyer has recommended that I do not finish this joke.
That's fucked up.
Suicide hotline. Can I help you? I'd like to place an order. Yeah. Dating a jealous girl. Her. Babe, where are you? I'm at church. Put Jesus on the phone. People in the Bible struggle with the same challenges we face today. Here we see Samson trying to give his cat a pill. Yeah, relatable. Hear me out, men, women, transformers. There you go.
Sad that Diesel's not here for that one.
I know, right? There you go. I can get behind this one. Reject modernity, embrace tradition. Give me real orcs.
Yeah.
Trying to turn orcs into Mexicans, you fucking racist bastards.
Orcs with man buns.
Like I said, Wizards of the Coast, D&D, that's just lost. I'm altering the search results. Pray I don't alter them any further. You know, let people in more. Me. There you go. That is great. People don't pirate old games to play them for free. They pirate them to keep them alive because the original cartridges won't last forever. Nintendo. Yeah. I mean, they do last for a fucking long ass time, though. My Super Mario from back in the day still works just fine. I don't need sex because Dark Souls fucks me every day. That's fucking great. Oh, the lady asked the waitress if the salmon was grass fed. I literally have no idea what went wrong in the world.
Oh my God. Really?
Your poop watching you scroll through memes for 30 minutes. A man followed a girl into the bathroom stating he identified as a woman. The man's teeth were knocked out by the girl's father, who identifies as the tooth fairy. Yep. Be kind to animals, be kind to the planet, be kind to others, be kind to yourself. Crush your enemies. There you go.
I love that.
I love it. They could have just taken the Eagles to Mordor. Who the fuck said that? Girls with a time machine. I'm your granddaughter. Really? Boys with a time machine. The company is called Amazon. Never allow them the rights to Lord of the Rings. Thank you, my boy. No shit. Put that in your will. Put that in your will. Earliest known depiction of an IRS audit, circa 6000 BC. Oh, the economy is so bad right now that even Joe Biden's job is being outsourced to an Indian.
I've seen that one.
That is great. Only fans, but it's elder women showing you how to cook, family recipes, sew, garden, canned food, make sourdough starters, knit and be sassy without giving a fuck what anything's. There you go.
I like it. I'd watch it.
Yep. I think it's called isn't like the HGTV or some shit. I don't know. If you're willing to shoot someone who's trying to steal your dog, it means you value your dog more than someone's life. So anyway, I started blasting. You clearly value your life. You clearly value my stuff more than your life, including my dog. People in the Dark Ages were uneducated, dirty peasants. The Dark Ages, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, seriously. We don't have people who have the patience to get through freaking a 2-hour video. They had the patience to start a freaking cathedral. No, it wouldn't be finished for more than 100 years and be happy with it.
Right. No, I mean, that's so very true. It's so very, very true. If DEI is a good thing, why do they get upset when they call you when you call someone a DEI hire? Weird, right? Weird.
Good question.
Weird. A husband doesn't protect his family because they are weak. He protects them because they are important. Amen.
Yep.
Natives be like, today I was at the local home improvement store purchasing a few bags of gardening soil. I love this joke. As I waited in line to pay my bags of dirt, a guy behind me spoke up. You going to do some planting? I turned to him and with a very serious face said, "No, I'm buying my land back one bag at a time. And I'm getting a receipt this time." The shocked look on his face was priceless. Oh, I love that joke. Orwell called them thought police. Big tech calls them fact checkers. Yep. When I pass on and see if they look as stupid as they drive. Yep. You'll be told to reduce your AC usage to save power while being told to drive electric cars. Yep. Football team loses. Government destroys your business, family, and health. No shit. No shit.
Sadly true.
My girlfriend is not hungry. $4.25. Add an extra French fries to your entree and fried chicken wings. 2 or fried cheese sticks. 3.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
It is. He visited his daughter's kitchen and left an honest review. I've been waiting my order to get done for 45 minutes, and I'm the only customer here. She was making good progress at first. Then she stopped for 20 minutes to go watch Paw Patrol. Overall, the customer service could be better, but the cook is a cutie, so I'll give her another chance.
That's amazing. I love it.
That's great. Can a ghost and a zombie come from the same person? I'm so amused by the image of a ghost watching in horror as their zombified body shambles around. Zombie burns. Ghost, this is so embarrassing. Please, Phil, get it together. We were a lawyer, for God's sakes. I like that one. Take me to my hero. And what about your boyfriend? He won't know. And here's where you're wrong, bitch. Oh, amen to this. Big tits matter. Facts. Oh, the best of Lino Richie. 2020 appliances break down within 2 years. Refrigerator. I will outlive you and everyone you love. I am eternal. I am time itself. Yeah. 1970s fridge.
I still have the fridge I moved out with from my parents' house.
See? That's what I'm saying.
To last back then.
Yep.
Or at least made it to where it was easy to repair too.
That too.
Sir, there are riots in the streets. I'm sure the immigrants have valid reasons. It's not the immigrants. It's white people. Arrest them. Arrest them all. Yep.
What's happening in Britain is it's literally almost unbelievable.
It is.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
When you live in England and your friend asks you to go out for a meal, it's too dangerous with all the sand people around. Yep. Scientists warn solar storms could wipe out the internet for weeks or months. Let me guess, late October 2024.
Well, we are actually at the sun goes in 11-year cycles, and we're at the apex of the latest cycle. I'm actually jealous because there have been so many geomagnetic storms that are pushing the northern lights lower and lower for people to be able to see. But still not as low as Southern California, damn it.
Right.
I've got friends in New York that are like, oh my God, I saw the Aurora Borealis. It was amazing. I'm like, shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah, welcome. Well, yeah, I live in South Texas. I don't even want to hear it. Okay. I don't even want to hear it. Oh, that is great. I need to refuel my sanity. Oh no. That way, guys. It's what? Boring. Oh, Hugh, thanks, Daddy. No worries, pal. I got you. Oh, for the wife. Yeah. I need to restore my sanity. That's my wife sometimes. A man dual wielding raw steak slaps diners in the face at vegan restaurants yelling, "If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding." God bless that man. God bless that. He's a hero. Here's a little song I wrote called Both Political Parties Work for the Same Corporations. Wake the fuck up. There you go.
Yep.
That face you make after they take your guns. Yep.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that my entire body cracks like a glow stick whenever I move and it refuses to actually glow is very disappointing. That would make it a little more worth it. That would make it a little more worth it. Oh, fuck. I can't read this one. There are 206 bones in the human body. 207 if I'm watching Salma Hayek in From Dusk Till Dawn. Yep. Called my stockbroker this morning and asked him, what should I be buying? He said canned goods and ammunition.
Yep.
Shout out to the gremlins. As a mortician, I always tie the shoelaces together of the dead because if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, it would be hilarious.
Jesus.
Wise choice. Don't rob my tools. I need them to pay your benefits.
There you go.
Nobody needs an AK-47. Nobody had 56 friends commit suicide. Yeah.
Yep.
Now that's how you take engagement photos. Yep, the hunt is over. I've seen something like that. That's great.
That's hilarious. That is.
The Juggernaut in Deadpool Wolverine was played by Aaron W. Reed, who also played the Jack Dude in Free Guy. Nice. See, there you go. Oh shit, I'm having a brain fart. Captain Have Fun happy because he's always bitching about that. Why don't they just hire a jacked guy already instead of making these guys take steroids?
It's not like there aren't bodybuilders out there who spend their lives becoming these things. Why do you need CGI? Just go to one of the Mr. Universe competitions and pick 3 freaking stand-ins.
Well, he's more talking about like references to like who they hired to play Superman and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, well, I mean, like, how many of them can actually act too is kind of the problem. And that's one of the things is like, that's always where it kind of comes down to. So, ADT guy said that my current security system was useless, but cuddly. Sounds about right. I plead guilty to first-degree Southern goosery. Nice. Look what I got you. How do you use it? Psh, the hat. I had a parakeet when I was a kid. Girl cats get named after ancient goddesses, and boy cats get named after Taco Bell menu items. When you put it in the right hole. I can't turn it upside down, but yeah, when you put it in the wrong hole. When you want a conspiracy theory, I'll give you a conspiracy theory. And they're both from England, mind you, too. So,
oh my God. Teletubbies are English? Didn't know that.
I thought that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they came from the BBC.
I figured they came from
DM, please make a stealth check. Rogue, Bard, Paladin, Barbarian. That's great. What's going on here? I was told Colorado paid extra to not share a border with Texas. Hey, musical instruments with chaotic. When you freaky but got ADHD.
That's so fucked up.
Oh my God. I have a confession. I used to be a Christian. Don't worry. It doesn't worry me, babe. Awesome. I much prefer being a Christine. Hold up. 11% think Hillary is honest and trustworthy. 14% believe in Bigfoot. More Americans believe in Bigfoot, as they should.
Yep.
Much more trustworthy.
Bigfoot doesn't have all those friends committing suicide.
Right? No, he doesn't. Viggo Mortensen and Carl Urban visiting Japan in 2003 and going super hard into buying Gundam. Hell yeah.
That's so cool.
That's why those guys are legends. Apparently, we have made the DM angry. What weighs more, a gallon of water or a gallon of butane? A gallon of water. Butane is a lighter fluid.
Oh.
Signing rolls. God, the sun shall fuel all life on earth. Sun sounds good. God, and the moon shall make tiny waves and werewolves. Moon, hell yes. What's green and fuzzy, has 4 legs, and if it fell out of a tree, it could kill you? A pool table. Backfire on bro. This girl's cute and smells really good. How do I approach her, bro? Just tell her she smells good. She'll like that. Oh, she said the scent is leave me the fuck alone. Oh, yeah. Fucked up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You should not tell people you do not know very well that they smell good or bad. Those are things you just don't talk about people you're not friends with.
No, it's weird. My girlfriend said she'd break up with me if I saved this kitty I saw on the street because it had bad vibes. Guess who's single and has a healthy kitty? Oh, the cat won't betray you, I promise. What if the toys in Toy Story went to a Catholic person's house and all the figurines of crucified Jesus just started screaming out in endless pain whenever the person left the room?
That's fucked up.
Fuck. That's fucking dark.
Seriously.
Oh, fuck. Boys, in case you were wondering, this is what 8 inches really looks like. We talk about the ponytail or that forehead? Nice. People ask 80 kids why they are the way they are. Me as a child, walks in the kitchen covered in my own blood, holding a rabbit I fought from a hawk.
God bless you.
Thank you. My mom on the phone, mouthing, I'm on the phone. Yeah. It's hardcore. You just don't understand. Wow, Dr. Chuckles, is there anything you can't make out of balloons? You're not Allison. Allison's gone, dead. You're just some balloon abomination. I should have never made you. Curse those fucking hands. All female reboot of the classic Rocky. In this corner, Darted the Italian Stallion, Roxy Balboa. And in this corner, Trans Dragged. Wait, isn't this a women's
Drago.
boxing? Oh, Trans Drago. Thank you. Wait, isn't this a women's boxing? I am a lady. Yeah. Fucking Discord. Okay, I got a joke for you, kid. Knock, knock. Come in. I can't believe he killed Harrison Ford twice. My fucking dumbass just realized the DS symbol is supposed to represent the dual screens. You're going to lose your shit when you find out what DS stands for. Feeling depressed, so I went to a shop and made a crab with a big come at me, bro energy. There you go. There you go. It's cute. Not going to lie, suddenly the Cybertruck is growing on me for some strange reason. Yeah, no shit. Dude, I saw a badass one wrapped in this really pretty metallic blue the other day. That looks gorgeous.
Someone
It actually
gave Trump a new Cybertruck wrapped in an image of him posting his fist up after the assassination attempt.
That is
really?
awesome.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm going to buy a parrot and only teach it to say 4 phrases. I miss my hands. Never break a promise to a witch. There's only one way to lift the curse. I just want to hug my kids again. Fuck. I got dark quick. Bud Light would like to be the first brand to formally announce we will not be sponsoring the Area 51 raid. Blue Moon. That's very unfortunate. How are people supposed to stay hydrated without water while they raid a government compound?
Nice.
Cashier checks my ID half a second. Wow, that was fast. Cashier, yeah, I saw the 19. Me. I'm old, Gandalf. I know I don't look it, but I'm beginning to feel it in my heart. Yeah. Oh, it's true. Ethiopian Orthodox churches have a safeguard pockets of primary forest that grow around them. Fucking druids. The party about to fight an evil demon worshipping cult. The warlock who's part of the cult. When kids ask me why people in old photos have red eyes, I tell them that they were too young to remember the demon uprising of 1980. There you go.
That's an old one, but I love it.
Yeah. I already saw that one. And this is the lake of lava that you'll spend eternity in. Actually, we're underground, so that would be magma. And this is why you're here, you realize. Cool to do drugs, drugs. Recall pencils from the 90s anti-drug campaign. There you go. You can't hear a t-shirt. The shirt. Yeah. Dude. Yep. All right. Good afternoon. I'm collecting used dildos and vibrators to donate to all the bitches that need to go fuck themselves. Toys for twats. The FBI quickly realized that putting the Amish on house arrest has flaws. Yeah, it's flaws. So I take half your cookies. What do I have? 2 black eyes and a fat fucking lip. There you go. All right, last one. Hey, son, want to check out this new game? You try to acquire riches and battle evil forces as you advance throughout a strange, mysterious world. Sounds awesome, Dad. Yep, life. There we go. There we go.
Hooray for
All
me.
right. Yes, thank you for all the memes. Appreciate that, boys and girls. So, all right, we're gonna wrap it up. Don't anybody go anywhere. I have you automatically directed from this stream over to Alec Baldwin's Fingers stream over on the GSA. What the fuck, GSA? Fucking hell, I don't remember at this point. I'm fucking tired. The GCA. By God, the GCA over on their YouTube channel. So that'll automatically redirect you guys over here. So just hang out, chill while everybody does their outros. And you guys will see me over there as soon as the stream is done. So, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Christy, since you showed up late, we'll let you go first. What do you got going on, my dear?
Well, doing my Thursday stream tomorrow, I have RJ Carter from Critical Blast coming on. I'm going to learn all about logistics of delivering comic books and a bunch of cool stuff. And I also discovered that he had a show on his channel that was conspiracy related. And in my show, I have a conspiracy corner. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, also we that the big YouTuber that's going to start collaborating with us. We've done the announcement on our various channels and all that kind of stuff. And we're both very, very excited to work with one another. And it's going to help Flip City Magazine enormously to have a big name giving their thumbs up, because there's nothing like an influencer saying this is worth your time. So thank Jesus, because it's scary to run this magazine. So it's really nice to have big names say things about Flip City. And of course, you can always go check out our free magazine at flipcitymag.com/free-magazine. Or go to Flip, there's buttons that say free magazine.
I didn't hear the announcement.
Joey B. Tunes. So he basically does Clown World commentary. He takes a bunch of TikTok videos and goofs on them and stuff like that. And I actually think he was kind of a pioneer of that style, because you guys know that style of content on YouTube, right? Where people just kind of goof on Clown World. Yeah, I mean, he was doing it like 10 years ago. So, and Tiny, it was so nice to actually see you. I've never seen you.
I try to be on as much as I can, but if I'm in pain, it's just, I know I'm making faces and stuff and I don't want anyone to see them, so I turn the camera off.
You're really good at laughing through the pain then. You're
After
always
18
laughing.
years, I've learned to laugh through the pain a lot.
Yeah.
But I know I tried to be on it one time, and I was like, supposedly I was grimacing when I didn't realize it, and was like, "Are you okay?" Like it takes away from the show if everyone in the chat is worried about you or freaking out. So if I'll mute if a pain spike hits really bad, I mute myself and I scream, and then I come back on.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry you have to do that, but I'm glad that we've seen you a lot tonight.
Well, I'm very happy to be on when I can. Also, like the light's all weird. Like I've been moving stuff around. I'm creating a little area in my apartment to be a streaming platform, but I had to build a new cat tree and everything. So now I'm like, the windows are not where I need them to be.
Oh, gotcha.
Eventually, everything will look much more professional someday. I mean, and more, it's like my dad sent me stuff. I've got friends who sent me equipment. I've got almost too much equipment. I can create an entire little studio, and I just haven't had the chance to make it work yet. So thank you for everyone who ever sent me anything.
Yeah, very nice.
I'll use it eventually.
Well, speaking of that, Tiny, what do you got? What do you got going on, my dear?
Well, you can find me at Moonpybox on Twitter. You can find me here every Wednesday. I also do Tuesdays and Saturdays with MSK, generally speaking. I will not be there next Tuesday. I do every other Saturday Dungeons & Dragons, which Nate is DMing, and Red Strider and Iron Oxide are all part of. And MSK is a pussy who won't show up.
That's about
This
right.
Friday, I'm going to be on Friday Night Thigh Highs, which Toasty is hosting, which is, as she says, the non-hard R-word version of The View. Just a whole bunch of ladies getting together who actually aren't complete and utter bitches and twats. And she says we will have guests sometimes, so some guys will come in every once in a while, but it's mostly a ladies version of Friday Night Tights in a way, I think, is what it's going to be. And that's 9 p.m. Eastern, so 6 p.m. Pacific on Friday. And then next Monday, and it's every other Monday, is Devil's Angels, where we watch old movies that either no one really saw when they came out, or were great but have been kind of forgotten. And I'm pretty sure that's everything. If there's anything else I missed, I'm really sorry, because I'm always on other people's shows, so I feel really bad when I forget to mention that. But pretty sure that's it.
Dope. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being here, Tiny, as always. Christy, same. Glad you made it. Better late than never, as always. But yeah, shout out to Armando for coming on tonight. It was great to have everybody a chance to talk to him. Sorry I had to cut out for a little bit. I had a schedule with Alec Baldwin's finger stream, and that's where we're going after this. The GCA, you'll be automatically redirected over there, so don't go anywhere. Just hang out in the chat. It'll automatically send you over there. You can hit the go now button if you want as soon as we start shutting the stream down. But yeah, we'll be going over there. So I appreciate that. It was great to have Armando on. I'm glad it's always good to talk to somebody that's currently in the industry, talking to them about what's selling, what's not, how everything's working, and all that kind of stuff. So maybe we'll break him into all of the crazy stuff later on. Go check out Jason Sandberg over on funmycomic.com. Pick you up a copper of Jupiter. Go follow Diesel on Twitter. He's doing stuff with Iron Oxide all the time. But yes, boys and girls, I'll be back at it tomorrow, 11 a.m. live for the morning prep. See what all kind of craziness has got going on. But I'm going to head over to Alec Baldwin's. Well, it's the GCA, but Alec Baldwin's finger's on there. He's my in on that one. So we'll be over there here in just a little bit, boys and girls. So I appreciate all of you being here. Appreciate all my guests and everything else. As always, boys and girls, it's Jesse with the Common Nerd. I bring you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. Thanks for watching. God bless. I love you all. And enjoy the credits. In the heart of one of these days I'll move that damn thing back up where it's supposed to be so this won't be a problem.